Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of the ZodWriter Show. I am ZodWriter, and with me, thankfully, is my co-host and good friend, Johnny Alpha, aka Graphic Vandalism himself. How are you, Johnny?
I'm doing really good, man. Really happy to be here. How are you doing this week, brah?
Man, I'm excited. There's been a lot of crazy stuff happening for me. On my end with stuff that I'm working, personal stuff, personal/professional stuff that I'm working on. And I'm definitely going to talk about it tonight with you and with the folks in the chat because I think there's a lot of stuff, that needs to be clarified and needs to be, uh, you know, some. I want to squash some misconceptions, make fun of a few people from Twitter, and we'll go from there. And then another topic that you and I are going to discuss tonight is some of the what I like to ask the question about winners and losers in the current superhero film genre. And what I mean is there's all kinds of movies that are coming out and they keep coming out, they keep pumping them out. Do you think in 2022, and right off the bat, I'm going to ask you this question, Johnny. Do you think in 2022 we've reached a point of oversaturation with superhero films?
I hear that a lot. I don't know. I think that they're fluctuating. I think we're getting to a point where some are kind of really mid to terrible, but at the same time, I think that that throws a little bit of variety into it. I think that they're just now finally starting to make certain properties that I've been looking forward to. So I'm not personally like shying away from comic book films just yet, but I do hear the whole thing like, "Oh, I'm tired of superheroes. I only like like
Yeah,
the boys and like in what's the other one that everybody really likes? The cartoon, the Robert Kirkman
they,
cartoon,
they all they all love the
Invincible."
boys and they all love that Invincible. They all love that crap, but they hate Zack Snyder. Just saying. I mean, it's pretty amazing to me how all that stuff literally pays homage to Zack Snyder. I don't know, but that's interesting. And there is this movie out that you and I are going to have to talk about. I'm thinking maybe we'll do like a watch party. Think Alan Moore would mind if we did a watch party using his movie?
The show?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think anybody's seen that except for us, so I don't think he'd
But
care. Like, we'd
well,
actually be letting people watch it, you know what I mean? Because it's
that's
such a good movie, but nobody's seen it, you know what I mean? I don't know
that,
anybody that's seen that
well,
shit.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe we ought to do a watch party because you and I used to do. You and I have done several watch parties. A couple of them, we got kicked off the internet when we tried to do Fist of the North Star, but we've been pretty successful with a lot of them. We were able to do Tomorrow's Joe. We were able to do Lensman. We were able to do quite a few together, and I'm thinking that it's about time that we do another watch party. And I think Alan Moore's The Show would be a good one.
It's Dude, it's so rad. Like, even if we have to do it on Discord with like just some of your fans, like it'd be worth it just to like turn some more people onto that movie because it
Yeah, we might,
chef kisses.
what we might do. We might do it the way my good friends Trey and Corey over at the Bat Channel do things where we do it where we watch the movie, but we don't really show the movie. You know,
Oh,
we
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 watch it on our hardware at home,
we
and
watch it on
we
our
react to it.
end, and we react to it, and then the audience watches along with us. We might, that might be something that we might look into, or the night that we do that, we'll make it like an unlisted or a private type of thing, and then we can show the movie because it'll be unlisted and people, and we'll just we'll give invites to our friends and we'll just do it that way. Either way, we'll think about it, but I think you and I should do that movie. That's just something that, speaking of movies, that are kind of deconstruct the genre and kind of do their own thing. We've got Super Bro Corey in the chat. Speaking of, what's up, Super Bro Corey? We got Bat Dan's thoughts, and we got my good friend Adega Outlaw. Good to see you, man. What's up, man? Adega Outlaw's been killing it with the stories on his YouTube channel. If you haven't checked out Adega Outlaw, definitely do it. Oh my God, he's got some amazing stuff over there. We got socks bulletins. Hello all, hide your socks. I have arrived. Yes, the ultimate serial killer in the Mikey verse. Socks. Oh my God, I can't wait. Chad Snyderverse. Good evening, folks. Good evening, Chad. Good to see you, bro. And we've got Larry in the chat giving everybody virtual hugs. What's up, Larry? What's up, Sean? We got Chad Snyderverse. I still haven't seen Wakanda Forever, but I'd say Black Adam is my favorite comic book movie of the year. And Love and Blunder was my least favorite. Yeah, I think a lot of people would agree, Chad, that Love and Blunder was not up to the standards, not even up to MCU standards, honestly. It was a very bad movie. Bat Dan's thoughts, I say oversaturated of MCU movies more than superhero movies in general. Bat Dan's thoughts says Invincible even has a member of Zack Snyder's Justice League in it. Yeah, you're talking about Ezra Miller. He does the voice of one of the villains in the cartoon. And I think Invincible's awesome. What do you think about Invincible, Johnny?
I don't like the main character. It's very well animated.
It's just like the book.
Great show.
It's a lot like the book.
Yeah, it's just like the comic. I wish that it wasn't, but yeah, I tried to get into Invincible. It's not my jam, dude.
You said you wish that it wasn't. I wish that it wasn't like the book.
I never really got into the comic either, man. You know how I feel about them Superman type characters.
Yeah, I know. Chad Snyderverse says this year in general was very meh as far as comic book movies go. In fact, it's been very meh the last few years for comic book movies, if you ask me, with one exception, like the Snyder Cut. And Ray says the antis got nothing better to do. They praise anything, even if it's trash, just to spite Zach in the DCU. And Chad Snyderverse also says, I still haven't seen The Boys or Invincible, but they're both on my watch list. And we got Showcaz in the chat. What's up, Showcaz? He says, yo, Zod, how's it going? Oh, it's going good, Showcaz. Good to see you, buddy. Chad Snyderverse says, honestly, I enjoyed Sonic 2 more than any comic book movies this year personally.
Yeah,
Sonic 2 was pretty dope.
Yeah, the movie that I'm most anticipating for the rest of the year is Puss in Boots Part 2, so it's kind of close to your film. Like Puss in Boots 2 looks awesome.
And we've got Ephraim Guzman in the chat. What's up, Ephraim? Good to see you, man. Good evening. Hit that like for Zod in the DCU. Hey, what's up, Nova Joe? Always great to see you in here. Oh, so Fresh says they're really good shows at Chad Snyderverse. Talking about Sonic. Streets of Rage has been picked up by Lionsgate today. Streets of Rage? Oh my God.
They're going to make a Streets of Rage movie?
I didn't know about that. I'm so excited. Oh my God, you guys got me amped. I love Streets of Rage. Like, oh my, that game, like, I can't stop playing Streets of Rage 4 right now. And I didn't think I would really like Streets of Rage 4 because I was more into like the older, Sega Genesis Streets of Rage games, but Streets of Rage 4, that's some good stuff, man. That's some good stuff. You've been playing Streets of Rage 4, Johnny?
Oh yeah, I have it on Xbox. What's it called? The Xbox Game Pass thing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I had Game Pass. I was using Game Pass for a while because I got this like handheld, and this handheld that I got does lets you stream games and stuff. And I'm loving it. I connected it to Steam, and I'm playing everything. And I can do emulators, arcade games, and stream off my computer. I mean, I'm in heaven as far as games go with that thing. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, but Streets of Rage 4 is awesome. I would say it's a lot like the Sega Genesis games, just with a little bit more playability, a little more moves
graphical improvement. Yeah, there's a game that I got for the iArcade, which is an arcade system that it's like a console, but it's in arcade form, in cabinet form, and the game's on PC, and I think it's on PlayStation and Xbox too. Mayhem Brawler. Have you played it?
No.
Mayhem Brawl. It's a lot like Streets of Rage 4. It plays a lot like that with like similar animations and action and it's really cool. But I actually got that on an arcade cabinet, and it's a lot of fun. That's a game I'd like to have on an arcade cabinet. Streets of Rage 4. That'd be a lot of fun.
That would be
Showcase
dope.
says there was no comic book movie this year apart from Black Adam. Nova Joe says Black Adam shits on Love and Thunder. MCU fans can't defend Love and Thunder. I only give props to Bale. Yeah, Christian Bale had a pretty good performance, I think, in the initial moments of Thor: Love and Thunder. Spoilers, when his child dies, and he actually has to act, and he delivers a very powerful scene. He has a couple of really good sequences as a villain in that movie, but beyond that, Love and Thunder was very disappointing. Chad Snyderverse says, honestly, Morbius was overhated and not too bad, despite being memed into oblivion. Oh yeah, I thought that
Morbius was pretty dope. Matt Smith was great in that, dude. Like
I thought Morbius was amazing. Yeah.
Matt Smith was like, he was chewing the scenery so bad, but he was so good in it. He was like a Jeremy Irons villain in that movie, man. He had me rolling.
I love him. I love it. I love Morbius, and I stand by my comments that I made way back when. Got all kinds of controversy on Twitter and got literally thousands of people commenting. It was when I said that Morbius is a better film than Matt Reeves' The Batman. It most definitely is. I challenge anybody. I challenge anybody on that. It most definitely is. They came at me hard. The Batman Robert Pattinson stands came at me like a mob of locusts, and I had to fight them off with a stick. But I'll tell you the truth. I stand by those words. I think Morbius was phenomenal by comparison. For real.
It was Morbin time for you, Zod, huh?
It was way better movie, bro. Oh, God. At least it didn't put me to sleep like Matt Reeves' The Batman. Showcast says Marvel's proven they're not comic book movies anymore. Ray says Black Adam and Morbius were the best comic book movies this year, but nothing compared to previous years.
Did any of you guys watch Samaritan with Sylvester Stallone? I mean, it's not actually based on a comic book, but it's a superhero movie, and it's a damn good one. Like,
you know what? I was just going to say, Johnny, that movie is better than Matt Reeves' The Batman as well.
Okay, wow. That one I might agree with you a little bit with, but yeah, I mean, I really liked The Samaritan. I thought that, because it reminded me of like a 90s movie, just like how brutal it was and kind of like extra it was with the violence. I didn't expect that from it, and I really appreciated it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
And we got Ryan in the chat. What's up, Ryan? He says Dragon Ball superhero and One Piece Red, good anime movies. I haven't seen any of those. Zentech says, Zod, you got the Odin? Yes, I did. I got you. See, Zentech, you've been paying attention. Yeah, I got the Ein Odin. It finally came in the mail. I ordered it back in February, and I got it in the mail like last month. So, and I've been enjoying the hell out of it. I've been playing everything on that thing, man. Anything I throw at it, it can play. It can play PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Wii games, GameCube games, freaking all the arcade games and all the hard to run arcade games like Killer Instinct and all that. Plays everything. Perfect. It's an amazing little handheld. I highly recommend everybody ordering one, but be prepared to wait a long, long time to get it. That's the only problem. It's going to take you forever. You almost have to order it and then forget that you ordered it, for real, because it's going to take a while for it to come in the mail, because it's coming from China, and right now they're having because I had what did I do? What do you call that, Johnny? On Indiegogo, what do you pledge?
Yeah, you back something.
Where you back something. I that was what it was. I had backed it when it first came up, and I thought I would be one of the first people to get one. No, man, no, I didn't get it till like last month, and I can honestly say it's the best handheld I've ever owned. for the sheer amount of options and things that you're able to play on it. I
Wait,
mean,
you backed the campaign, but you got yours hella later than like they even hit the stores.
yeah, it hasn't hit the stores yet.
Okay,
It's they have a website now where you can order directly and you can get some, but they've also got some additional models because I ordered the Odin Pro Edition, and now they have, you know, even better models. That's how long it took for this one to finally come, and they made some
that's
adjustments
kind of bootsy.
with the buttons and the sticks and the D-pad. I honestly though, I can say this wholeheartedly. It is great. It is great. It is great because I actually was thinking about a Steam Deck because I got a couple of nephews that are interested in the Steam Deck, and I was thinking about it like what I was going to do was I was going to get a Steam Deck and play around with that for a little while, and then I was going to give it to them when I got tired of playing around with it. But I ended up getting the Odin because I backed that way back when, and I completely forgot, about it because it was so many months. But man, ever since I got it, it's been like the only thing that I play when I want to play games. I just because I can stream everything directly to it from any consoles, from my computer, from whatever. It's all it's very, very easy to just stream directly to that handheld, and it's
What about like
beautiful.
old PC games? Can you play like Myst on there, like Zork?
Yeah, because you can stream it directly. You can load it up and have it on your PC. And I've even got some homebrew fighting games and stuff like that I've got launched into that I can play. It's insane. But where it really shines is for animation. I mean, emulation, where you can really, 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 you can emulate just about anything. Like, like I said, all the harder to run arcade games run flawlessly. Pretty much any like console game that you want to play, you can play. It's really, really good. And then all the modern stuff like Xbox, PlayStation, or whatever, you just stream it directly to the handheld, and you're good to go. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Zentech, I highly recommend it, man. I hope you get one, bro. I hope you get one. Sorry, just tuned up. So I don't know if you mentioned it already. No, I actually hadn't mentioned it, but I'm excited. I'm always excited to talk about it. I don't get to talk about that stuff hardly enough. It's always a welcome thing to think. Yeah, Johnny, if there's anything for like video games, for like retro games, for playing all your modern games, anything on a handheld, that's what I would recommend. I don't have a Nintendo Switch and I don't have a Steam Deck, but this is like, the greatest
How big is
thing
the
ever.
Odin? Is it about the same size as a Switch, basically?
Yeah, it's about the same. I'd say it's about the same size as a Switch, maybe a little bit bigger.
Okay.
And it doesn't feel too heavy, but it feels very, very premium. So it's really nice. I mean, it was, I think I pre-ordered mine, when it was in development, it was around $200. And now they want they want close to 300 for it now, I think, but it's, oh my God, it's worth every penny. My God. Yeah, there you go. Streets of Rage Remake is a fan-made version of Streets of Rage, and it's phenomenal. Oh my God. I wish they would like officially release Streets of Rage Remake on consoles, because it's a phenomenal game. The Streets of Rage soundtrack is effing amazing. I agree. Let's see. Nova Joe says, never really was a Star Wars fan. Hope Rebel Moon can do a better story and visuals. I'll tell you what Rebel Moon's going to be right now. I'll give you guys the secret of what Rebel Moon is. Rebel Moon is going to be Seven Samurai in space with a grittier Star Wars aesthetic. That's what Rebel Moon's going to be. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, I would say I would expect it to be kind of like one of those old James Cameron, Roger Corman movies like Galaxy of Terror more than Star Wars a little bit, which should be a lot of fun.
Well, there's going to be Star Wars elements because
Yeah,
this
yeah,
was a Star Wars movie, and Disney said no. So Zach was like, "I'll make my own IP." Yeah, so there'll be those elements, but you're gonna get. But I'm serious. You're gonna get. He's gonna draw heavy from Seven Samurai. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be phenomenal. Whatever, dude. I'm more hyped. I'm more hyped about that than anything that he might do, including his DC stuff. Showcast says they took the Capcom Alpha series and put it in Streets of Rage 4 on top of what was already good from the Genesis trilogy. I agree 100%. It's so much fun to play, and it's so fluid and so smooth. Oh, it's so satisfying. Chad Snyderverse says, I've been playing both the new Sonic and God of War games. I haven't finished God of War yet, but I did beat Sonic Frontiers,
yeah. Ragnarok is pretty epic.
which I enjoyed despite its flaws. The boss music was fire. Also, you've been playing it, Johnny?
Yeah, a little bit.
Awesome. Awesome, man. Did you ever get a chance to play Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise? Well, I know you don't have a PlayStation, but
Is that the one that's based off of Yakuza? Are they built off of Yakuza?
mm-hmm.
No, I never got to play it, but I did get to play a bunch of the Yakuza games.
Oh man, I hope they should just throw Fist of the North Star on Xbox Game Pass. Let
Yeah,
you
they have
X
all the they have all
let you
the
Xbox guys play it. What's the difference? They gave you all the Yakuzas already, so why not
straight
give
up.
you that? Like, I mean, give you the best one. Give you Lost Paradise. Oh my god, that's so much fun. Another game that's very, very satisfying, especially being a Fist of the North Star fan. Chad Snyderverse says, yes, Matt Smith was great in Morbius. Totally agree. Bat Dance Thought says, I really liked the Batman. It did something I wish every other Batman film did. Show Batman walking. Yeah, it did that a lot. If it's only Marvel, then they aren't comic book movies. There were lacking diversity comic book movies, aka comic book movies from other companies outside of DC and Marvel. Technically, Dragon Ball and One Piece would count because both were originally manga, aka comics. Yeah, I haven't. I can't really relate to Dragon Ball. The only Dragon Ball movie I ever watched was Super Broly, and I only watched that out of morbid curiosity because so many people had gone to see it in the theaters, and it was actually competing with like big budget films at the time it came out.
Dude, that's seriously one of the best ones, and like it's still also terrible. So yeah, or at
I,
least one of
I,
the better ones that I've seen. And
one
yeah,
of the better animated ones. Like I thought it was animated really well, and I actually followed along with the story a little bit. I wasn't bothered by it. I thought, oh, this is pretty cool, but it's not like I have any desire to go back and check out the Dragon Ball lore. I have no interest, but that movie did pique my curiosity enough to actually watch it all the way through. So I give it credit for that.
but like One Piece, man, like that's like literally it's gone on for so long. Like I don't know if I watch the new movie if I'll even be able to understand it because like there's already been like a couple hundred episodes of the anime and they've had like 10 movies I think like that's why I haven't watched the new One Piece because I haven't even started in that journey yet. That thing is just way too huge. It's very intimidating
Well,
to even think about getting into.
the problem with One Piece, and this is the thing, you start watching One Piece, and then you will die, and you won't get a chance to ever finish
Finish
the
it.
story. So that's my problem with One Piece. On a positive note, though, the Fist of the North Star volumes continue to be sold, are continuing to sell well. I think there's about 7 of them available now, or close to 7, and they are wonderful. I've been buying them slowly, incrementally, because I have 4 of them so far. I haven't bought all of them yet because I'm spacing it out, Johnny. Fist of the North Star is one of those epic mangas that it's one of those things I don't ever want to finish. I want to be reading Fist of the North Star like the day I die, that's when I want to finish. That's when I want to finish it because I love it so much. It's like that good. I don't know. How far are you? Have you been buying the hardcovers?
I only have the first two. I'm like even behind you. I do plan on getting them all since there's only going to be like 11 of them. But yeah,
Oh, there's
like you
going to be
said,
more than 11. There's going to be, I think, 18 in total. I think 18 because
okay.
they're adapting the the Japanese Ultimate editions.
I'm gonna legit have to get a new shelf though. Oh damn! Then wait a little bit. The regular hardcovers will be cheap for a little bit until they go out of print, and then like people want like $40 for them. But if you wait till like right as soon as the new versions come out, the Ultimate editions, you could get the regular hardcovers for pretty cheap.
What I like to do is I like to get them. I like to get them. Go a little bit further behind. Like I love being this far behind because I can probably get volume 5 for a little bit cheaper now. And then, maybe I'll buy volume 5 and 6 together and be caught up, buy them. I like to I want to like buy them 2 at a time, but like, yeah, I'm behind now. I'm ashamed to say I'm only on volume 4, but I do have, but I have seen it all and I do have it all because I bought that high-end thing that had all the volumes in one electronic volume. And that's a masterpiece. But
Yeah, the little e-reader thing you got. Yeah, that thing is dope.
I still can't believe that I got that thing on the shelf. I'm like, I still look up at it every day and kind of marvel at it. Like, how the hell did I pull that off? Chad Snyderverse says Killer Instinct is fire. We need a new one soon. Oh yeah, I just got Killer Instinct on Steam a while. The updated game, the one from earlier in the decade,
Like
the one that's on
2019, I think.
Xbox. I don't know when, but that's a lot of fun to play. It
Yeah, I
was on
have it too. On
it was on Steam for $19.99. That's the cheapest I'd ever seen it. It's almost always like $60 to buy, and I
oh, it's
seen
on
it
the
on.
It's on the Xbox Game Pass. If you still have that, you can play it for free on there.
No, I dropped
Oh,
Xbox Game Pass, so I don't have it. But I was happy to get it on Steam finally, get it on my computer. Because now that I have a good enough computer to play these games, I'm super happy because like Killer Instinct is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Who's behind the Odin? It's a company AYN. That's what they're called. I think it's called
Soldier Boy.
Ein Odin. No, it's not Soldier Boyed up. That's for sure. But it lets you do a lot of great stuff though, and it has a beautiful display. I swear, dude, if I can't hype it up enough how much fun I have with the Odin. It is such a great little device, especially if you just want to play some gaming, like a quick game of whatever, and everything you throw at it just runs, bro. Like it's not even a problem. You got your emulators, you could use RetroArch. I like to use I was using I'm trying to think of the name of it. I use this Android app called Reset, and it actually gives you like a nice menu, and you get all the box art to your games and cover art and posters and stuff like that. So it looks really, really nice when you go to your games and you just click on the picture of the game that you want, and it's really cool. Like kind of like I was using what was it? I'm trying to think of the other. There's another one, and I can't think of another real popular one, and I can't think of the name of it right now. My brain is so fried from all this writing I've been doing. I can't even think about all this stuff. It's like it's like on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of the name of it right now. But yeah. Let's see. What's up, Tim's Talk? Good to see you, man. We got Zentech saying, yeah, I'm gonna order an Odin next month. Bro, when you get yours, I want to bring you on here and we'll have a discussion and we'll talk about it in depth when you get yours. Let me know when you get you might not get it until if you order it next month, you might not get it until like the summer or close to next Christmas. But when you do, when you get it, we'll talk about it. Zod, do you think Wakanda Forever ruined Namor? No, Marcus, I didn't have a problem with the way Namor was portrayed in the movie. I expected them to take some liberties with Namor. I didn't expect to really get a comic book accurate Namor. So I think they did good, especially with his attitude and his reasons for wanting to do the things that he did. I think it was pretty well done. I was actually very satisfied with Wakanda Forever, and I know I'm in the minority when it comes to some of these MCU people, about Wakanda Forever, but I really did like it. I thought it was pretty dope. Also, Fresh says Rebel Moon is going to blow Disney Star Wars out of the water. Oh yeah. Zach isn't playing around. Zach is going to change the genre. From everything we're hearing about Rebel Moon, I mean, he's doing Rebel Moon 1 and 2 back to back. So, I mean, wow. Marcus says, I hope we get a variant of the real Namor in the MCU. Good luck with that. Chad Snyderverse says Rebel Moon is over all of Disney Star Wars, including The Mandalorian, which I love. Oh, yeah. I have no doubt. I think Rebel Moon is going to be what everybody wants Disney Star Wars to be, which is really great. Zeno says Cameron's Battle Beyond the Stars is Seven Samurai in space. Corman's Battle Beyond the Stars. Yeah, but this is going to be Zack Snyder's version.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about blood, gore, space guts? We're going to get all that. Marcus says Ahsoka series will be like a samurai show. Dave Filoni confirmed it. Oh, I can't wait for Ahsoka. I love Ahsoka. I can't wait for her show. You like Ahsoka, Johnny?
That's Rosario Dawson, right? Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, bro, it's gonna be great. I'm hyped, man. I want to, I'll watch Ahsoka 7 days a week. She's awesome. Like, her character is one of the greatest things to come out of, like, later Star Wars stuff. I love her character. Showcast says you'd think Rebel Moon would be a Star Wars title, but because Disney is clueless. Yeah, I think Disney's going to be kicking themselves when this comes out. Bad Dan's thoughts: are either of you caught up on Andor? I'm not.
I'm waiting for it to be all the way over and then watch it. I don't like watching things week to week. I think it might be over by now, but I haven't checked on it.
No, it's not. It's still going. It's got a lot of episodes. It's not over yet, bro.
But I am looking forward to it. Like, Rogue One's pretty much the only newer movie I really, really like. So, and the shows have been pretty fire so far. I mean, Kenobi was, but that's the only one that I kind of wasn't really in love with. So, I thought most of the other Star Wars shows have been pretty dope.
Yeah, I really haven't had a problem with the actual shows. Yeah, the movies is one thing, but the shows have all been pretty entertaining. Chad Snyderverse. Marcus Cruz sounds good. Andor is Star Wars for adults. Okay. Ryan says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge.
Oh,
awesome.
Dude, yeah. That game is so fucking fun, dude. Straight up, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very reminiscent of the classic arcade game while being new and modern at the same time, but it has enough nostalgia in it, to kick you in the balls to get you to keep playing. It's so good. Oh, God, I agree 100%. They even got the original Turtles from the 80s cartoon to come back and voice the characters. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I know you've been playing that on Xbox Game Pass.
Hell yeah, dude, as soon as it came out.
I know it was available. It was available that day. I know. I had it, but I bought it on PlayStation. And then I got it for the PC as well, and now I stream it. Now I stream it to the Odin and play it handheld. I love it. Oh my God, it's fantastic. Licensing is what's stopping Fist of the North Star on Xbox. Yeah, that's kind of sad.
I don't know. We had the Kin's Rage on Xbox 360, which was a badass game. So.
Oh, that was a lot of fun too. Ken's Rage. God, I could go on all day about Fist of the North Star and video games. Fist of the North Star's had so many good games. I mean, hell, even that Sega arcade game that was done with Fist of the North Star was great. The fighting game?
Yeah.
Wow. Like, I don't know. As a Fist of the North Star fan, I feel like fans, we've been lucky to get such really great, video games. It's been amazing, especially over the last decade or so. We've been seeing a lot of good games come out. I don't know how they're going to top Lost Paradise though, because the graphics were so good and the story was really decent, and they did a good job of um, mixing the lore with creating a new story, kind of doing its own thing, but at the same time still staying true to everything that we know. So, I mean, not to spoil it, because I just hope that one of these days you'll get a chance to play it, Johnny,
I
because then we
just
can
want
then we can do
the
a
only
big stream about it. Like, holy shit, it'll be so
the
much
only
fun.
game the only game I can really think about really wanting would be a fighting game where you could fight against the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure characters as Fist of the North Star characters. That would be hella
Isn't that
fun.
isn't that didn't they do that with like Jump Ultimate Stars?
Yeah,
Didn't
but there's only a few characters. I'd like to have like the full casts, like or like most of the casts. Like have most of the JoJos, and then have like all of the like have
it would
Jaggy
be
and
so it would be
Shin and
it would be like Fist of the North Star v JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or something like that, and then you could have all those crossover battles.
yeah, straight up. That would be like the only thing that I'd really like to see get done.
Yeah, it could happen. I wouldn't be surprised at some point. Uh, what's good, Zod and Johnny? Have you guys seen Wakanda Forever, and where do you stand on the recast T'Challa movement? I've seen it, and I did my review with Skywalker the Jedi. Him and I collaborated on his channel and did a big review stream for a couple hours talking about it. As far as recast T'Challa, I think that they should have, but since they didn't, the movie does a good job of setting up the possibility of T'Challa coming back in another way. What do you think, Johnny?
I haven't quite seen the movie yet. I'm really excited for it. I've heard nothing but good things from people that I trust, so I'm pretty hyped for it. And I'm pretty happy that they didn't recast T'Challa. Even if there's a lot of different ways they could do things with the character or with the nation of Wakanda, and it'll be kind of fun to see what they do. But I'm not disturbed that they didn't recast the character. I think it's actually tasteful that they didn't.
Yeah, well, at the time, if they would have pushed Wakanda Forever back like another year or so, I think they could have gotten away with it. But at the time, everybody it was too fresh to recast them, and they were already in production at the time, so they had to do something. Chad Snyderverse says, I need to play Yakuza eventually. I'm a huge fan of the Devil May Cry series, and I love games like Metal Gear Rising. And I've heard Yakuza has similar elements. The same goes for Bayonetta 3.
Yakuza, it's the fighting is a lot more brawlerish, but then there's the weird mini games like the Yakuza are with the karaoke singing, and then you have to like kind of get girls dressed up, and you got to kind of pimp them out at this cocktail bar that you work at. There's a lot of really weird different things that you do during the Yakuza games that just really sets it off, makes it probably one of the weirdest games you'll ever play. So I couldn't really compare it to either of your ones that you brought up, but it's just a damn fun game with a lot of different things you can do throughout the play length of them. So I'd say definitely give them a chance, especially if you can play them for free on one of the game passes. Just give it a shot.
Well, that's one of the good things about the Game Pass. Almost all the Yakuza games are there. I mean, a good portion of the collection.
All the newer ones, and they're remaking the first couple anyway, so like those will probably be available soon too. Because I think 4 through 7 are playable, and they're remaking 1, 2, and 3, I think.
You know what game I think is actually pretty good? Another shout out to Dragon Ball. That Dragon Ball Fighters game that they have, I think is actually pretty good because the animation is very fluent like the actual anime, and it's actually fun to fight as those characters.
They've actually had a lot of really fun Dragon Ball Z fighting games throughout the years, though. I mean, that's been like I haven't really ever liked the anime, but the fighting games that have come out of it have always been pretty fun because you've always been able to like fly and do all that shit in it. So.
And the reason and the whole point is because again, it's such a popular property That's why they get high quality games. It's like Fist of the North Star in that way, that it's a real popular property. So when you're getting modern games based off of it, you're getting a lot of high quality games. I mean, like to this day, my favorite Fist of the North Star video game of all time is the PlayStation 1 game from 2000, where they adapted the whole. They literally adapted the whole first like arc, the first huge main arc of the original manga from the very beginning all the way up to I think it ends at like the second fight with Rao.
Oh wow, it goes that far.
And Johnny, it's on one disc. And it's got the voice actors from the original anime. They all dubbed the voice. Oh, it is phenomenal. I mean, the graphics are, polygonal PlayStation 1,
Yeah.
but I mean, for a game based on Fist of the North Star, this thing covers so much ground. I mean, it's bigger than Final Fantasy VII, and they somehow fit it on one disc. I'm like, I don't know how you did it, but it was amazing. Oh my God. And so it'll always be, I would have to say, I would have to go one step further and literally say it's my favorite video game of all time, because it literally, I mean, it does everything right in terms of recreating Fist of the North Star faithfully and letting you play in all the right, you get to play as all the right characters. You get to a certain point and you get to play as Ray, you get to play as Toki. I mean, it's fantastic. Oh my God. Such an amazing game. I still can't believe they did it, but that game came out 22 years ago. So, well, fantastic. Sega would have to pay extra to the license holder, which they probably won't do. Yeah. The licensing for Fist of the North Star has always been an issue. This is why we'll never get an uncut version of the 1986 animated movie, because of
They're Shonen Jump, right? That's Kondensha.
Yeah. I'm still surprised that we're actually getting hardcovers released of the manga now.
That's taken so long, dude. That's like I can't believe it, because that thing's been so popular since I was a kid. Back in the 90s.
Yeah, I just don't get it. I'm like it's like a no-brainer that it's finally getting that release. Ryan, I agree. The music was incredible. Marcus says, Zod, One Piece is actually good. Give it a shot. And the new movie was dope. I don't know. I just don't really I just don't really like the idea of starting something I know I'm not going to live long enough to finish. That's all. That's the only thing that gets me about it. I don't want to be dead and have it still be going on. The same story that, yeah. That's my whole issue with One Piece. It's daunting. I won't watch Wakanda Forever because Disney killed T'Challa. What's up, Koopy Malik? Good to see you,
What's up,
man.
Koopy?
Let's see. What did you think of Wakanda Forever? I haven't seen it yet. I actually really enjoyed the movie. I recommend everybody watch it if you have even a passing interest in the Black Panther storyline. The Batman says, what's up, Zod in chat? What's up, man? Good to see you, as always. It was okay. 6.5 out of 10. They honored Chadwick Boseman well, but the story is grieving and a funeral film. Namor was okay. Telecon was dope, though. Oh, yeah, Telecon was great. That was like my favorite part about it, because I didn't feel like, Marcus, did you feel like they did Telecon just right? Like they didn't overdo it? They didn't make it too much, because the visuals were amazing in this movie. That's another thing about Wakanda Forever that really stands out to me. Go ahead, Johnny.
What? No, I wasn't going to say nothing.
I thought you were going to say something. Let's see. Gave up on One Piece. Not a fan of these. I dream of being the greatest, etc. type manga or or anime like Naruto and
Yeah,
Pokemon.
shonen style. Yeah, it's really hard to get into. Like there are very few that I've been able to like. My Hero Academia is like the only kind of new one that I was able to actually kind of fall in with because I just think it's pretty funny. But a lot of other shonen shows, yeah, the whole like I'm gonna be the best because yeah, it's just and the main characters are always so terrible in most shonen shows.
This is the thing too. What's up, bro? I'm surprised. All I've heard was negativity towards that movie, but I actually enjoyed it. But it was definitely missing Chadwick Boseman's presence. Yeah, it had a Black Panther sized hole in the movie the entire time. It definitely did, but it was still good. Naruto was dead from Boruto. Okay. Hey, Showcast. Naruto was so good until Boruto. Okay.
Boruto's the kid. Naruto's kid. I guess Naruto died and his kid got the anime.
Okay.
That's another one I never got into because it went on for fucking ever.
Naruto, yeah. No, I tried watching it because I dated someone who really liked Naruto, and it was a really strange scenario.
Would she run with her arms behind her back like Naruto?
She tried explaining to me the lore on one of our dates. We sat there and she started telling me the lore for Naruto, and I was just like, I was tuning out. I couldn't get into it, but it was cool. And I appreciated her enthusiasm for it. I mean, it's cool to see somebody excited for something, but
yeah, it's better than like her trying to get you to watch Inuyasha or something like that, man. Like
exactly. Zeno says I might watch it when it's on Disney Plus, but MCU stuff right now has been dull. Let's see. Marcus says breaking news: Daredevil Born Again will be TVMA. That will be age limit controls, so parents will not complain. Well, I mean, I think they're doing the right thing. I mean, if they're going to do a Daredevil show, it has to be TVMA.
yeah, and plus they said they were going to bring back Jessica Jones and Luke Cage also to be in the new Daredevil show, so they're going to have to kick up the rating a little bit. And
yeah, I gotta agree. Showcase says nope, it wasn't. Naruto was dead long time. You guys just watched the anime years after the fact and only realize it lost steam. Let's see. Naruto's most memorial scenes are where Hinata professes her love for him in their wedding scenes, at least for me. See, and I don't mind. I don't mind Naruto fans. Like I said, I dated a very cute woman who enjoyed Naruto, and I thought it was cool seeing her enthusiasm for it and seeing how excited she was to share it and talk about it, and that kind of passion isn't lost on me. I mean, how long have I been talking about the Snyderverse? Okay, so that's fine. Again, I don't begrudge anybody. If it's not my thing, I still get a kick out of people who are very, very passionate. I mean, I'm very, very passionate about the cartoon Gem and the Holograms, but that's what can I say? I don't expect everybody to be. Showcase says I read the original manga before it was ever released officially in the West, and the series was dead before it got released in the West. Wow.
I'll take your word for it. I tried to get into it, yeah. Like that one and Bleach, like the first couple ones that were really long that got popular, I did try to check out, like not One Piece, but Naruto and Bleach and what was the other one? Fairy Tail, and I didn't like any of them. Like I tried really hard, and it just was not for me. Too cool for me.
And Kupi Malik says while waiting for the new season of Jiu-Jitsu, got to watch Chainsaw Man, dope series. Yeah, gotta love Chainsaw Man. Gotta love that. Oh God, Chainsaw Man. Yes,
I'm really happy that they're simulcasting that too, putting it out right after it drops in Japan. Like I've been watching it on Hulu. It's good stuff.
Next week is the finale. Are you talking about Andor? Bat Dan's thoughts? Because that's probably when I'll watch it when it's all there. Because I've only watched I have a confession. I only watched the first episode of Andor, haven't watched anything else. I just
Yeah,
haven't had.
it's maddening to try to watch a Star Wars an episode at a time, man. Like,
Well, not only that, I just haven't had time. I've been busy with other stuff, and it just doesn't. If the show doesn't grab me enough right then to be committed to it, like I watched that crappy Blockbuster show on Netflix. I binge watched all 10 episodes, not because it was any good, but because it was all there, and I kind of got conditioned to watching it in the crappy humor episode after episode. So. Yeah.
so that was as bad as it looked like it was going to be. That's too
Worse.
bad. Wow.
Worse. The actual name of the final episode is literally called, I kid you not, Shit Show. That's the name of the final episode of Blockbuster. I mean, it couldn't be more apt. It's almost as if at that point they knew how bad the show is. I mean, wow. Wow. Sock says Ahsoka is what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Ahsoka as well. That's a show that'll probably have me hooked from week to week. Andor has one more episode left. Okay. I would love a Star Killer deep Disney Plus series that I've got a feeling Disney would F it up and nerf him so he doesn't outshine Rey Skywalker in terms of power. I sure hope not. Just can't watch Disney Plus shows anymore. Just trash. There is one more episode of Andor episode next week. The season ender of Andor is next week. Okay. I got it. I'm playing God of War Ragnarok now. Oh, that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
I get crazy looks when I say I didn't like She-Hulk. I really wasn't a fan of She-Hulk either. I watched a couple episodes. Then I found out Doomcock was the villain of She-Hulk, and I just stopped. I just couldn't.
I watched it for Daredevil, but I kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was, as far as the Marvel Disney Plus shows go, it's one of the better ones. It's not quite like as good as What If was, but it's marginally better than Hawkeye or Loki was, in my opinion.
Oh, Showcaz, you are 100% right. To me, it was Fist of the North Star on Sega, the Sega Arc Systems, Arcworks Fist of the North Star arcade game, and Lost Paradise, the top games. Absolutely. Absolutely. Those games are phenomenal in so many ways. It's incredible. Like the amount of the level of detail. I mean, wow. I couldn't be happier being a Fist of the North Star fan right now. I'm so happy to be alive. We're eating good as Fist of the North Star fans because, again, these beautiful hardcover releases of the original manga are just mind-blowingly awesome.
They need to do a new anime, like straight up.
I know you've been saying that about them doing like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure type anime for Fist of the North Star. I agree.
They're almost done with the JoJo's, man. As soon as they're done, I would get that same studio to do Fist of the North Star because they've accurately taken JoJo's Bizarre Adventure off the page perfectly and made it into a cartoon. So like I think that they could do the same magic for Fist of the North Star.
Yeah. We know why Marvel didn't recast T'Challa, and comparing it to other recast leads movies is not the same. Like Zod said, it was too soon. Yeah, it was. I kind of want to see the recast T'Challa if they can pull it off. Well, I don't, since we're not really having a major discussion right now about Wakanda Forever, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But if you go see the movie, if you watch the movie, they do give a plausible way that you'll be able to get T'Challa again. It's not going to be, the same T'Challa, but it'll be T'Challa. They set it up so that I believe in the third movie there'll be a time jump and you will get that T'Challa. It's going to happen. They set it up so that they can recast, but do it tastefully in a way where nobody will complain because they actually did it right. I'm actually very fond of the way that they decided, the direction they decided to go. Chadwick Boseman died in 2020. It's just 2 years since his death. It's still fresh in people's minds after Secret Wars in 2026. They are going to recast him. Well,
Yeah.
it's going to be, but he's not. But you know what? I'm just going to say it, guys. At the end of, I'm spoiling the ending for anybody that hasn't seen it right now because y'all keep talking about it, and I want to give context to this. At the end of the movie, there's a scene where Shuri goes to see Black Panther's Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther's wife, and it's revealed that they have a son. Okay, and the son is also named T'Challa. Okay, so he is going to grow up and eventually become Black Panther. He's going to eventually take the mantle. It's going to happen eventually. And I believe he'll be aged up in time for Secret Wars.
On a long enough timeline, they're going to recast all these characters. It's not going to be too long until we really have another Iron Man and another Captain America playing Steve Rogers and Tony Stark. It's not like they're going to pass the mantle on. I know Riri is going to show up. Ironheart's
we got Ironheart. We got Ironheart.
Yes, he's going to be around for a little bit, but like they're going to bring back Tony Stark eventually. They're going to bring back Steve Rogers eventually with new actors, and it's going to happen sooner rather than later too. So I wouldn't be surprised. Secret Wars is couple years down the line. That's going to be like the next really big end game type shits they try to pull off, and at that point, like a lot of these other characters are going to run their course. There's going to be several trilogies by that point. So I think that what they're going to do with the Black Panther is, I don't know what they're going to do, but like you said, it sounds like they've really set it up tastefully to carry on the character and pass the mantle on in a way that won't piss people off.
Well, so because right now Shuri is the Black Panther, just like she was in the comic books. So they had to rush to that in order to, because they didn't have no choice because of Chadwick Boseman's passing. They didn't have no choice but to make Shuri Black Panther. So it's sort of, it makes sense what they're doing. It's very organic and very tasteful, and it's done well in the film. So I don't think I don't have a problem with the way they're doing it. I kind of wish they would have recast T'Challa, but they would have had to push back the movie if they were going to recast Chadwick Boseman's version of the character. But at this point, what they've done now for me is fine. I don't have a problem with it. Sickness says, Zod and Johnny, what's up, fam? Dropping by the show to show some love, doing the fam thing at the moment. Much love to Still Nation and everyone here. Y'all have a good one. Thank you, Sickness. Always good to see you, man. Thanks for the support. Much appreciated. God, I love having discussions like this, man. Just being able to talk about all kinds of crazy stuff.
Having a nice positive chill stream too. Yeah,
that's what these shows are for, man. Yeah. What's good? Sickness, Koopy Malik and Socks, and the dude just died in 2020. Not enough space, Koopy Malik. This isn't like Superman or Batman when they recast or even the Crow.
Straight up, I mean, like when they actually had Chad Boseman's voice on the What If episodes, like that shit choked me up when he played Star-Lord, and then that was so good too. That was like honestly the best thing that. Besides from like Werewolf by Night that Marvel's put out like since Ant-Man 2, in my opinion, it was the What If.
Yeah, it was. I actually really enjoyed What If.
Hey, chat, what did you guys think of Werewolf by Night? I mean, like honestly, I know you guys love to hate on Marvel, but that was a really fun, really cute little Halloween special, man. I think they really knocked that out of the park. Like
Werewolf by Night was a masterpiece, bro.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like that's probably one of the best things that the MCU's ever put out. Hello?
I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
And shout out to Mikey Sutton for scooping Werewolf by Night back in 2019. Just saying.
Wow, I didn't know you called that one. I remember everybody was going crazy thinking that like that weird werewolf thing that Moon Knight was beating up in the one trailer was going to be Werewolf by Night, but it ended up just being like this Anubis demon. So I kind of got a little disheartened, and then they put out the trailer for Werewolf by Night, and I was just like, oh, dude, that is going to be so sick. And it was. It did not disappoint. Like, in my
I,
opinion, that might be the best comic book thing of 2022, in my opinion. I might.
yeah, I think it. I think it's amazing. I love the aesthetic. I love everything that they did with it, man. Yeah, that's true. That's true too. That Brunson and Hara still own the license. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like a separate thing. They gotta get, but what I love about it is that they've got to get their permission for everything that they do. That's why we've got so many high quality Fist of the North Star things because of them. because they hold on to that and they actually care about their IP. If Sega wanted, they could release it on Xbox, but the game didn't do great, and I can't see them putting money to the Xbox version. I'd love to see it on Xbox, to tell you the truth. Bad Dan's Thought says, I'll be honest, there were some story issues I had with Wakanda Forever, but overall, thought it was good. Honestly, Werewolf by Night's the best thing the MCU's ever put out. I got to be honest. It was very, very well done. Very reminded me of those old pulp comics. Really
Yeah,
good.
it really reminded me of like a two shot because like it had like the two different little storylines where you get Man Thing and then like you get the reveal of him and the really cool battle with the hallway fight scene and shit. Like it was just really, really well executed. Like way better than I thought it was going to be. I thought I would like it okay, but I came out of it just like almost reinvigorated with hope for like the MCU. But I don't know if the movies will perform, but I am pretty hopeful for the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas thing. That looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It's probably going to be fun. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Having some fun. And speaking of fun, I've been having a lot of fun writing my Pause Not Stopped History of Restore the Snyderverse, Release the Snyder Cut. I've been having a lot of fun writing that book, so I want to kind of transition and talk a little bit about that right now for everybody. We got a lot of I got a lot of stuff coming up for that book, and I seem to have struck a nerve because I got a quote from my book from a certain gentleman by the name of Walter, and I'm going to read this tweet for everybody so that you can kind of, if you haven't seen it on Twitter, I'm very excited with the way that this is kind of blown up. He wishes to be identified only as Walter and said, although I did not work directly with Zack Snyder, I was constantly reminded of his contributions to DC throughout my tenure with with WB, excuse me. Despite what Zack Snyder's fan base believes, I do not have anything personal against him. Now, that quote has gotten me so much hate on Twitter that I'm loving it. Johnny, do you think anything that I read from that quote from Walter is cause for people to hate me and come at me?
No, not at all. And I think it's actually a quite believable thing. I don't think that there's ever any malice behind the man and his actions, to tell you the truth. But yeah, but what you told me, the backlash that you've gotten just from getting a tweet from a source, which a journalist is supposed to do when they're, writing a non-fictional book. Like, I don't understand, like, why you're getting hate for it. I mean, you're supposed to, like, view things from all sides, right? To get a realistic look at this movement, what happened, the truth behind it. I don't know what they wanted you to do. Like, who did they want you to talk to then? If like this guy was not acceptable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And one of my favorite responses from somebody here where they say, "How long before you turn into a P-word apologist?" And frankly, we don't know what was happening behind closed doors at WB. Maybe Hamada didn't have a problem with Snyder, but Fincher saying Hamada but Fisher saying Hamada covered for Whedon's and John's behavior is still an issue of its own. So he says that I'm going to become. It didn't even make sense to say that how long before I become a P-word apologist. That to me was really, really bizarre. It was a real bizarre response to my statement. And it makes me think that a lot of people that I like to call Snyder only fans, are like half brain dead. I feel like, how can you make that type of a response? How can you, how does that make sense?
The guy made some bad calls as a head of a studio, so you shouldn't look for his opinion on a subject that you're covering. It literally makes no sense. I mean, like, it doesn't mean that you're making him a trusted source or even like going to be like taking his point of view seriously. You just asked for what he thought, and he told you.
Yeah, this is the thing I don't get. Like, do you not want me to quote people that were actually involved in the situation? Is it something that I should just give my opinion and get a bunch of opinions from a bunch of faceless Twitter faceless Twitter accounts that just have nothing to say but Drek? I mean, what should I get a quote from Stamats? Would that make people more excited? I mean, I don't understand. Like, I'm really having a hard time understanding how you could have a problem with that quote. And then you also have people that are, I had a guy, and I'll read the tweet. Some fool actually wants to bet me money that I didn't get an actual quote from Walter. I said, let's bet $1,000, and dude shut the F up. I don't bet small. I always shoot for the moon. I'm looking into getting a quote from Zack Snyder for the book too. Lots of surprises in pause not stopped. Seriously, you all just are not ready for the people that I'm reaching out to for this book. You all have no idea of where I'm going to take this. I have so many goals for this book. I have so many. I feel like a lot of the stuff I want to do is very lofty in terms of where I'm going. And some of the people I've already talked to, I think people are going to be very, very surprised with some of the names that are going to be appearing in this book. I mean, if you think Walter is the only person that I've spoken with, well, I didn't really speak with him. I got a quote from him. So it's sort of, it doesn't matter. Having a quote.
Yeah, he wrote you a statement, but it's still, you conversed with the man in a manner for your publication.
It's good to have. It's a good quote to have. That's all. He didn't have to give me that. Walter did not have to give me that quote. All right. And really, he's kind of taking a shot at the Snyder only fans here. Because again, I'm going to read it. He says, although I did not work directly with Zack Snyder, I was constantly reminded of his contributions to DC throughout my tenure with WB. Despite what Zack's fan base believes, I do not have anything personal against him. Very professional statement, most likely factual from Walter's point of view. There's nothing malicious in that statement. There's no attacking, but I do kind of feel like he's taking a shot at the fan base by saying, despite what you think, I don't have anything personal against him, which tells me that it was just business. The whole thing with him, it was just business, and he did what he had to do under the circumstances that he was given. And I'm not taking, his perspective. I'm trying to show journalistic integrity by giving everybody a chance to speak on what they have to say.
Yeah, if he's talking out of his ass, you gave him enough rope to hang himself. Like, if he is telling you falsehoods, then like you have that on the record too. You know what I mean? It could be a good thing. Not for your side.
I don't even need, and my thing is, I don't even need to get that much information from him. Just the fact that I got a quote from him is good enough. I feel like, there's things you should be happy about when you have people that are actually, that were actually involved in terms of the subject matter that you're writing. You should want to cite as many sources as you possibly can. The pushback I'm getting makes no sense whatsoever from this perspective, and I've leveled it down to the fact that it's all a bunch of haters. It's people that don't want me to be right. They don't want me to be putting out a book. They don't want me to talk to Walter. They don't want me to talk to Jason or Toby or any of the other people. They just want, they just want to hate on me. They want everything that I say to be wrong because I'm associated with Sil Abdul and Mikey Sutton. That's what it is. I mean, I love the guy that wanted to bet me that I didn't get an interview. I mean, that I didn't get a quote from Walter. And it is so funny because I'm like, yeah, okay, let's bet $1,000. Let's bet $1,000. Seriously, if you don't believe me, let's bet $1,000, okay? And then when the book comes out and you see that I have a quote directly from Walter, you can give me $1,000. We can do that. Yeah.
Well, what's so hard to believe that you'd got a quote from the guy? It's really not that hard to get people to talk to you.
No, not when you're doing something like this. And this is what I've been trying to tell people. People say, oh, Zach, Zod, you ticked off too many people that are close to Zach. You'll never be able to talk to Zach for your book. Oh, really? You don't think I could talk? You think it's going to be that hard? We're not talking about Zack Snyder's not the president of the United States. He's a movie director. You don't think I could reach out and I could get him to talk to me for the book, even if I just got him to give me one quote like Walter did? You don't think I could? Okay. I want to know what is the thought process? What goes through these people's heads? What is it that makes you hate me because I want to give you the whole story? I want to get the perspectives of everybody involved. And if I can, and I can tell you right now that if I can get a quote from Toby Emmerich, I'll get one. That would be awesome to get a quote from Toby Emmerich. Does that mean that I automatically agree with Toby Emmerich because I want to get a quote from the man? No. It just means that I want Toby's perspective on things.
Might make you understand maybe where he came from a little more. Who knows?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, honestly, from that little quote that I got from Walter, I'm starting to think that, when I look at how extreme Snyder only fans are on Twitter, I can't help but, what he said so much in that quote. He said so much.
The thing is I believe that there probably wasn't no malice behind him. That's just how studios do things. They have ripped apart and torn apart so many beautiful films and put them out as trash over and over again. It's just this one was hyper focused on because of the age that we live in. This is how studios have done business since there have been studios. So I honestly don't think that these people were actually literally trying to destroy Zack Snyder or his image. They were just doing the shitty shit that they always do.
Yeah,
and I think that's what Walter Hamada told you in his tweet. I mean, that's what it sounded like to me. Yeah, it kind of sucks that it played out the way it did, but I didn't mean anything personal with it. We were just doing Hollywood crap. That's how Hollywood works.
I wouldn't say that it was necessarily enlightening to me what Walter said. I think it's more just it's his point of view. All right, and everybody has a point of view. So if what And this is the thing, when I got my quote from him, I was as surprised as everybody that I got a quote from him. All right, that's number one. I didn't expect to get a quote from him, but I thought that's hella cool that I got a quote from him, because whether I agree with him or not is not the issue. The issue is, can I get your perspective on something? And that's what I think a lot of these half brain dead Snyder only fans are like on Twitter. It's like, do you not have critical thinking skills? Do you not have the ability to look at things and say, oh, he's just getting the point of view of so and so, versus, oh, he's practically a spokesman for this guy now. How long before he starts totally endorsing and kissing James Gunn's butt? Because look at what he's doing here. Listen, I got news for you. I'm going to reach out to James Gunn too for the book. I'm going to get a quote from James Gunn. And y'all are going to just be like, huh? I'm going to get a quote from James Gunn. I'm going to get a quote from David Ayer. I'm going to get a quote from everybody that's ever been involved in this that I can get a quote from. I guarantee you. Y'all think I'm playing. You have no idea the kind of research that I've been doing for this book. You have no idea the kind of hours and time I'm putting into it. And they just want to tear me down because I had the audacity to get a quote from somebody who they don't agree with.
It's called journalism, people.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to put your personal feelings aside. You think when The Ringer was interviewing me and Chris Wong and a few other people back in the day about in 2018 about the release the Snyder Cut movement, you think back when they were interviewing us that the guy interviewing us was a fan of Zack Snyder or the Snyderverse or the Snyder Cut for that matter? The guy literally said, Joseph, you're chasing vapor here. This movie's not coming out. He told me this before we started the interview. And I said, but no, you're not understanding. This is a movement about a movie we know exists, but people keep telling us it doesn't exist. People just have no idea. It's insane to me. If I have to go and I have to say, so for me, I'm trying to be as objective as possible and trying to talk to as many people as I can, because the book is going to be a lot more coherent than me being scatterbrained trying to explain it to people. I'm going into so much depth. I'm trying to give people something that they can really so that they can understand. And as people know, I've been getting DMs from people so that they're giving me their perspectives. They're giving me their quotes for the book. I'm probably going to end up dedicating 3 chapters of material just to people's responses and quotes in regards to this. People have been really supportive, and I'm very, very thankful for that. But my thing is, it's getting to the point where I'm getting pushback from places that I really don't think I should be getting pushback from, because I was one of those people. I was a member of the cult for how long, right? Before I finally saw the light and took the blinders off and realized that being a member of the Snyder cult isn't helping anybody, because it's a one-track mind. And it's like, and I am so happy now to disassociate myself from the Children of Martha.
Well, it just went so weird after the movie came out too. I mean, when you guys won and got what you wanted, the first thing that you wanted, like it just like got so vicious and so vitriolic behind the message, and like it really kind of got a little scary in my opinion. So like it's really neat that you're taking this approach and you're going to tell people about this stuff, because I mean it is a weird like rabbit hole facet thing that happened that maybe a lot of people in the fandom don't even know about, because I I love to come in and watch this stuff, and then I go and try to explain to all the other people in the other parts of the fandom that I know, like what exactly goes on over here, and like they don't believe most of it. So like this book will be proof that I'll be like, told you these people were wiling out for years about this shit, man, and it it got serious.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely where we're at now. People have unrealistic expectations for what they think is going to happen. I mean, James Gunn has literally been the head of the DCU for what, a week, 2 weeks? And he's getting all kinds of hate and attacks because he hasn't announced the restoration of the Snyderverse immediately. Like, can you give the guy a chance to kind of get settled and get in before, you start attacking him? I mean, he put a tweet out about, in commemoration of Kevin Conroy, who sadly passed away, right?
Yeah.
The voice of Batman. And what happened? He got bombarded by tweets from the toxic Snyder only fans. What does commemorating Kevin Conroy got to do with the Snyderverse? Why is that an appropriate time to barrage James Gunn with tweets about the Snyderverse? I just don't understand it. I'm at the point where I realize now just how irrational, Snyder only fans are.
And I hate to say this, but you guys probably aren't going to hear much about what's going to happen, continuing with the Snyder characters until the Flash comes out. Like they're going to have to see how these new movies really do before they really announce anything. Because I really think that they are in a really tight spot with how Warner Brothers is being restructured right now, and I think that they got to move forward as carefully as possible. So like really cross your fingers for this Flash film if you want to see these characters continue, in my opinion, because that's going to be a really, really big hurdle to clear on whether, like the old guard really does stick around or we start seeing more recastings.
I honestly don't, I'm at the point now where I look at it like, let's see what they're going to do before we worry about, where, where they're going to take everything. Let's wait and see what the plan is, because they clearly have a plan at this point, right? Let's give it some time. And the thing is, a lot of the Snyder only fans, they don't listen to Sil Nation. They're not a part of, Sil and Mikey. They don't listen to Mikey Sutton. If they listen to Mikey Sutton and Sil, they would have no worries about what's going to happen with the new DCU. They'd be completely happy knowing that Snyder's going to come back and he's going to do his Justice League films, his 2 Justice League films. He's going to direct another movie, and he's going to do something. He's going to do something else. But Zach can't do anything right now because he's currently shooting Rebel Moon 1 and 2 back to back for Netflix. He does not have time to work on WB projects right now, and he can't talk about WB projects right now while he is actively working for Netflix.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's the thing I don't understand. Like, you expect the man, because he was on a podcast a couple weeks ago at some random radio station in Colorado, and you expect him to get on that radio station and say, well, yeah, I'm working on Man of Steel 2 and I got this. What are you kidding me? You actually expected to get some kind of confirmation from Zack Snyder on some random podcast? I mean, Snyder only fans, you guys are far out there.
I mean, he could say some stuff like that, but he'd totally be talking out of his ass about like non-existent things. I mean, like I'm pretty sure that they are talking to him about it. I mean, I'm not saying that is not a thing that might happen in the future, but it's years down the road before that's announced, and even longer before it even starts production.
That's what I don't understand. I'm like, okay, so you're gonna negate the fact that the man is like knee deep in Rebel Moon right now, and you're gonna expect him to be worrying about projects for a completely different company other than Netflix. He's not going to do that to Netflix, guys. Netflix has been good to him, okay? Let's be honest. Netflix has been good to Zack Snyder. Netflix is letting Zack Snyder be a creative, letting him do his thing. Every one of us should be extremely happy for Zack Snyder working on his own IPs, the true Snyderverse, right? We should all be excited for that. Not hoping, not pushing for the man to go
play with other people's toys again. Like, be excited for what he's going to do.
Right. Exactly, Johnny. And this is my problem. It's like, listen, at some point, it's like Zack is going to continue to grow as a person and as a filmmaker, right? You grow. They say you grow. They say you change every 7 years, and because you grow as a person and you change. Different things change. Your tastes change. Things change, right? So I don't know why you would want why you'd want Zack to be in a hurry to go back and do something else that he doesn't have full control over anyway.
Especially for a studio that's treated him so poorly.
Right. And that's the other thing now. A lot of people don't realize that Warner Media treated Zack Snyder like trash. Warner Media is no longer in existence. It is now Warner Brothers Discovery. It's a different company. It's run by different people. Zack could go work for them and could do more DC stuff, which I believe that he will.
He will.
But he's in the process right now of trying to launch what is going to be a spectacular IP of his own. So I think Snyder-only fans, should be just as excited for what Zack is doing now than what you want him to do in the future. And this is so this is the thing I can't rack my brain around. They're not talking. None of the Snyder-only fans are talking about Rebel Moon. The Snyder-only fans are complaining because Superman wasn't wearing a black suit in Black Adam. James Gunn is head of DC. That means the Snyderverse is dead. This and that. It's so negative. Like, listen, Zack literally told Henry Cavill, I cannot wait to work with you again. He literally said those words, I cannot wait to work with you again. And you are the greatest Superman ever. What does that mean? That is the biggest hint you Snyder-only fans are ever going to get outside of an official announcement until Zack Snyder's done over at Netflix. So you better take that hint, take the hints that Zack Snyder gives you, pack them away, and start being supportive for the projects that Zack is currently working on. Because if you're
be a little patient, because the studio system is slow, people. I mean, it is slow. Like, even if he is signed on to do Man of Steel and like the papers are signed, we probably won't hear about it until a year from now, and it won't go into production until like 3 or 4 years from now. Even if it's fast tracked, it's going to take years for him to actually put out a new DC movie.
And I'm gonna be straight up with you. Yesterday on Scoop Center, Mikey Sutton said, all right, that the Man of Steel sequel is being fast tracked, and that in all likelihood the studio will give the directorial duties to Andy Muschietti, or Andy Machine Gun, as Mikey likes to call him, Andy Machine Gun, who directed The Flash. They are so confident that this Flash movie is going to be successful that they're willing to give a Man of Steel sequel over to Andy Muschietti. And if that happens, it's only going to be because they want to fast track it, because according to Mikey Sutton, they want to get the Superman sequel out in time for Christmas of 2024. And the only way that's going to happen is if you get a director who doesn't have another project and isn't going to be super busy like Zack Snyder is. They can't wait for Zack Snyder because Zaslav wants to fast track Superman. They can't wait for Zack Snyder to come back and say, hey, Zack, do you want to direct Man of Steel 2? They can't do that because Zack Snyder is contracted to do with another studio right now. His contract ends on July 21st of 2023. So next summer, Zack will be available. Okay, and you can independently verify this. You can look it up. I'm not just making up a date. You can look it up. It's online. You can check it out. There's a Variety article. There's a Hollywood Reporter article. There's all kinds of information out there about Zack's contract with Netflix. So you can look it up, and you can see that Zack will be available after that. However, and this is a big caveat for a lot of people, there's a good chance that Netflix might extend Zack Snyder's contract, because guess what? They love working with Zack, and Zack loves working with them. Now, the same can't be said about WBD, because they're a new company, and Zack hasn't been working with them. He's been working with Netflix, and he's been getting treated well. All right. And all Zack said on that radio podcast in freaking Colorado, all he said was, I haven't gotten a call. That's all he said. He didn't say that he would never work with DC again. He never said that WBD was anti-Zack. The funny thing is, when he was talking about Warner Media before, he literally said the words, they are anti-Zack. They don't want me here. All right? He's not saying that about WBD. So Snyder only fans need to chill. Stop crapping on everything and give Zack Snyder a chance to finish what he started over at Netflix. And then down the line, like Johnny said, he'll be in a position.
He can't just come out and say mean things about Warner Brothers if he ever wants to work for him again. I mean, he does have a little more power than he did when he left Warner Brothers, but like, he ain't the type of guy where he could badmouth a studio and hope to keep on working. Like, the guy's got to play the game, man, and it's messed up. It is a tragic, dirty game that is Hollywood, but like, I think he is maneuvering himself very well through this. I don't know many people who would take as much shit as he has and keep his head down and just persevere through it like he has. But he is the comeback kid. He's the champ, and I think very soon he will be back in making theatrical blockbusters. But at the time, I think that he really is having fun, showing the world what he can come up with, which, I mean, is the stuff that I've wanted to see ever since he made Sucker Punch, which, it's a dream come true for me, having him make IPs for once, because, I mean, he is really good at adaptations, but, I mean, it's great to see him do something else finally,
So that is let's see. WBD obviously has talked to Zack, or he wouldn't have said he can't wait to work with Cavill again. So that is a good sign that the bridge with Zack and WB has been restored. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
There's too much money involved there to not open these doors back up.
You're gonna and here's the thing: the moment people saw Cavill on screen at the end of Black Adam should have been the end of the conversation. People should have understood then. If Henry's back, and it was announced a couple months ago with Jason Momoa and Ben Affleck that Ben Affleck is back. Once that was confirmed, okay, all the conversation surrounding Zack Snyder should have ended. And if that wasn't enough, Zack himself, like you pointed out, Showcaz, said that he can't wait to work with Cavill again. That right there is your hint. He didn't say, I'd like to work with you again in the future. He didn't say anything like that. He literally said, I can't wait to work with you again. Meaning it's already something that is planned to happen down the line. It's already been decided.
The details aren't worked out yet.
Exactly. I don't understand how these people can be so stupid. Like, they've been following Zack Snyder for years, but they sit there and act like they don't know how Zack operates or how he talks or how he hints. But the moment he says, oh, I didn't get a call, they jump on that like, oh, that's confirmation. Snyder's never coming back. Everybody who said that Snyder's coming back is lying to us, because Zack Snyder just said he didn't get a call. Well, Andrew Garfield also said he didn't get a call. He literally said, I didn't get a call. Like he wasn't, like he was trying to deny that he was cast in Spider-Man No Way Home. And we see how that turned out. This is just something that Hollywood people do. They lie to protect their NDAs, to protect what's coming. They're not just going to make a massive announcement on some random radio station. Oh yeah, I'm coming back to Warner Brothers, and yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that.
Especially when all they've done is had a couple meetings and had a couple talks where they've maybe shook some hands and came up with a couple ideas, but there's probably nothing solid yet. But there are some foundations of where this is going to go in the future. And like we talked about last week, they want they want to take a more wholesome route with Man of Steel 2. So it makes sense that they wouldn't exactly bring Zack back for that one right away. But like by the time Justice League 2 comes out, he'll be back. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to wait a year or a few years before they even try to do another Justice League, just to give some of the characters a little time to grow with the cast members before start killing some of them off, because you can't do the Apocalypse War stuff with the New Gods and Darkseid and stuff without killing some characters.
And you gotta have Zack Snyder for Darkseid. I don't understand it. Showcast says they listen to Grace and Campia, who keep saying DC is rebooting instead of Sil and Mikey. I said this before, and I've said this 1,000 times, in defense of Mikey Sutton. Mikey Sutton has 35 years plus in the industry as a scooper. He knows his stuff. Robert Meyer Burnett, a good friend of mine, a good friend of Mikey Sutton, and a guy who's also on streams with John Campia, casually name drops Mikey Sutton on John Campia's shows. And I love it every time he does it, because every time he does it, John Campia's face tells everything. Listen, you don't have a guy that has that kind of industry experience and a guy in the industry like Robert Meyer Burnett. You don't have Robert Meyer Burnett taking Mikey Sutton seriously if he's a liar and doesn't know what he's talking about. Let me remind people, Mikey Sutton was the one who scooped that the Snyder Cut was going to get released before anyone else. Everyone else was saying it didn't exist. Mikey Sutton told us when it was happening. Mikey Sutton scooped before anyone else, which is why Yahoo actually covered the story about Spider-Man No Way Home. He scooped at both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, who denied he was in it. Mikey Sutton scooped it 2 years before it happened. So I don't understand why Sil and Mikey continue to get berated for the things that they say. I don't understand why people don't take them seriously as sources, but every time Grace Randolph farts, people take it as gospel. Grace Randolph hasn't been right about nothing. My Time to Shine was wrong about everything. My Time to Shine told us that Shuri was not going to be the new Black Panther. And I saw the movie, and as far as I know, Shuri's the only one that had the mantle of the Black Panther. Even at the end of the film, Shuri was still Black Panther. So I don't know where these people are getting their sources from. But my whole issue is I keep trying to tell you, have patience. Get out of your Snyder only fans mentality and start supporting Zack for the things that he's doing now as a creative. And then move forward, have some patience, and understand that you will get more of him in DC.
Right. Because I mean, like, I never heard DC say that they were ever going to actually reboot. I thought they were going to try to do that whole multiversity thing where they might have a couple different versions of the characters on screen at any given time, played by different actors. I never. So the fact that like the Snyderverse characters are still around kicking makes perfect sense for that game plan, which I don't think they're going to stick to. I think with them bringing Ben Affleck and Cavill back means that they're going to actually ride this out, at least maybe finish Snyder's Justice trilogy and then maybe try to do something new. But I really think that with all the old actors getting renewed, that kind of really sets a precedent for that we're not going to be seeing too many new versions of stuff. The only thing I really want to know is when are they going to bring the Green Lantern in? I mean, like you figure by now, like they would at least have done a new Green Lantern movie or show or something, right? And
Oh
he's like,
yeah.
it's like their third biggest character, and like they did Black Adam, and they've done 2 Suicide Squads, all kinds of weird shit, and like they still haven't done Green Lantern. Like it's really
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, that's where I'm thinking that we're gonna get, according to Mikey Sutton, they're gonna do some big things. They got some big things planned for Green Lantern as well. So
I mean, for the
I
longest time, they were saying that Johns was going to do a show, but that never happened. So they should have had like something in the movie pipeline the whole time in case the show didn't pan out. But I mean, they've had a flawed game plan for a long time. I really hope that this new Warner Brothers company gets their stuff together and kind of really comes up with a game plan to like move this forward, because they could have some amazing shit out there. You know what I mean? They really could.
yeah, I agree. I really do. And that's why I say there's so much out there's so many stories out there to tell. And I, I'm not even gonna get into my Marvel versus DC theories. Also Fresh says Grace Randolph scooping is like Shaq shooting from the free throw line. Showcase says Grace and My Time to Shine have no sources. They do in 10 years, then they're rebooting. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Zaslav has actually stated this. DC has a 10-year plan. They have it laid out. Okay, there's a reason why they brought James Gunn on board as head of DC and as head of creative to map out the 10-year plan. The 10-year plan, they know what they're doing. Why? Who did James Gunn work side by side with for years?
Lloyd Kaufman.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. He was responsible for Tromeo and Juliet and all that, right?
Yeah.
James Gunn has also worked side by side with Kevin Feige for years.
Yeah.
So he's learned how to plan out a slate of movies that can be worked and can be shuffled around if needed, and adjustments can be made. So these are things we should be expecting. We should be expecting a more cohesive universe now that they have allegedly a 10-year plan. Y'all are gonna make me go crazy and try to get a quote from David Zaslav. I mean, I'm at the point where like this is where people are. This is where we are. Like y'all think that it's not serious. Like, oh well, Zod, we don't care about your little book. No, my little book is going to be the most thorough book on the subject. I guarantee you that. This is gonna be one of those books that I can say now, and I'm only 6 chapters in, and I can already say that Pause Not Stop lives up to the hype.
It's gonna be a Netflix show.
No, let's not jump the gun. I don't want to talk about the offer I received for the documentary just yet, Johnny. But we do. I am. Big things are happening, and that's all I can really say. Also, Fresh said it would be in WBD's interest to just let Wayne T. Carr reprise the role for the Green Lantern series to easily tie in with the Justice League. Well, I don't know if this was a members only scoop. I don't remember. A lot of Mikey's stuff kind of just rolls together, but I heard that's exactly what they're doing. I heard they're gonna have Wayne T. Carr as the main Green Lantern, as John Stewart. But hey, what do I know? Don't y'all think the DCU is getting oversaturated with characters, especially with the JSA and what Gunn has been teasing? Oh yeah, Gunn's teasing Batmite and all kinds of lesser known characters. But
I don't know if they're going to try to do any of the Crisis books as an event film to actually fight Darkseid. They're going to need more characters than they have at the moment in the DCU.
Absolutely. That's what people don't realize. Zack Snyder's Endgame is Final Crisis. People don't understand that. Last Thanksgiving, they said, oh, it's just a turkey. It's just a turkey. Yeah, it was a turkey. But what was next to that turkey? The big, thick hardcover Final Crisis Omnibus and some notebooks of Zack Snyder's on top of it. What do you think that means? It means that Zack's endgame is Final Crisis. What are they leading up to? It's a 10-year plan. They're leading up to Final Crisis. They're leading up to what's that other one? Kingdom Come.
Yeah, and you're going to need a lot more than the 5 characters that they have at the moment in the DCU to fight all those villains, man. Like there's a reason why those books are called event epics, because like they literally, and to tell you the truth, it should be really good, because DC's event books are always better than Marvel's. Like Marvel's events suck. So like it really needs to be on the ball, and they need to have not just one Green Lantern. They're going to need to have a couple cores to fight some of these characters. They're going to need Booster Gold, a lot of really, really good, really strong characters, and they're going to need to bulk up, whether it be on
They're going to need DC. They're going to need a DC universe to fight against these people. You're right. That's the thing. People don't realize. People think that Darkseid is just some punk that they're going to be able to take down with just the Justice League. No.
You need to read how ridiculously strong Jack Kirby wrote that man to be. Like,
I don't understand people. It's like, what do you think the Justice League is powerful enough for Darkseid? They're not. If the Justice League was powerful enough for Darkseid, Zack Snyder wouldn't need 2 more movies in a Final Crisis event. I can tell you that right now. Mikey Sutton is in the chat. He says, Gunn is teasing more than I thought. Yeah, I know. He's dropping Mikey. James Gunn is teasing a lot of stuff. This is what I'm saying. You know, people that say they don't like scoopers, they don't need to listen to scoopers. All they need to do is look at what the creatives are doing themselves. Listen to the things that the creatives are saying. I mean, you know, I may not be the biggest fan of James Gunn personally, obviously, right? But I'm excited for what he's going to do, with DC going forward. He's got a lot of ideas. He's a comic book fan. He's a creative.
I must say he is a weird choice. Like I wouldn't have picked him to be the head, but he's not the worst choice I've heard either. So it's going to be interesting. That's all I'm going to say. It's an interesting choice they made with Gunn, and I'm a fan of his, and I still think that he's an odd one, but it's interesting.
Decision. I know you're like, oh my God, he's an odd decision, isn't he? For somebody who is, because he's very controversial. He really is. And so for him as an executive, Zaslav must have seen something in him that a lot of us don't. I don't know. I mean, people are forgetting that Darkseid is using his whole arsenal from Apocalypse to get the anti-life equation.
True that. And any one of those characters, the lowest ranked character of his army could probably take out the Justice League that was in the movie. Like they're going to need so many more characters just to fight these villains, man. Like it's going to be amazing, though.
They don't realize that Steppenwolf was literally the weakest person, that the weakest one in the arsenal. That's the reason why the Justice League was able to be successful against it, because he was the weakest one. And you got to remember, Steppenwolf was powered by his emotions. He wanted to impress Darkseid. So he thought he could take on everything on his own, and it didn't work out too well for him. Everybody's saying hello to Mikey Sutton. James Gunn just posted earlier a pic of Jonah Hex. Mikey Sutton says, can't wait for Jonah Hex on HBO Max. Casual bomb from Mikey Sutton. There you go.
That's going to be awesome. Like, especially if they do the Joe R. Lansdale graphic novels from the 90s. Hell yeah.
You see, Johnny, what we're dealing with here. This is how far in the future Mikey Sutton is. I joke all the time that the man has a DeLorean, and he just goes into the future. He gets his scoops. He comes back, tells us what we want, what he wants to tell us, and moves on. And goes into the future and goes further into the future and gets more stuff. He's Scooper Supreme for a reason, and so is People's Champ for a reason. They know their stuff. And I don't doubt for a moment that Jonah Hex is going to be a series on HBO Max.
No, not at all.
They totally need good series on HBO Max. That makes perfect sense.
That's perfect.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh goodness. Lobo to me confirms James Gunn is doing that space project he was supposed to do for Marvel before he was fired. He just took it to DC. Yeah, Lobo's going to be interesting too, man. You know, I'm kind of getting a little bit excited at the possibility of Jason Momoa also playing Lobo.
Playing two characters. Yeah, I don't see why not, because I can't see anybody else playing Lobo. I mean, like Jason Momoa, like walked right off of a Simon Bisley drawing of the character. I mean, all you got to do is paint him white.
I'm getting really excited at the idea, and I would also like to be honest with you. This is one movie I would not mind James Gunn directing.
No, it's right up his alley, man, with the really kind of dark humor and, little over the topness, but brutal at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. And Showcaz points this out. Steppenwolf defeated them. It took the Flash to reverse time. You know what? Goes back to what
and that was kind of a cop out too. I mean, like that was some movie magic that would not have worked in the comics, but it was really well done in the film.
Yes, Mikey knows what our future holds. That's right, Socks. Hashtag into the Mikeyverse. Exactly. And Showcast says Lobo, I suspect, will cameo in Adam Strange or Omega Man movie before going solo. Let's see. If you're bringing on Lobo, I think we might as well bring on Solomon Grundy. Oh yeah, of course.
I don't see why not. Like Solomon Grundy, I'm surprised they didn't bring him out in a season of Titans, but he deserves better than that. But he would have been a pretty good candidate for that show.
I love the fact that how Zaslav and company are just throwing away the CW. I love the fact like they're throwing it in the round file where it belongs and just letting it go. That's beautiful. Yeah. It was terrible. It was a terrible experiment. They never should have did it. It didn't make them any money. Hey, listen, Zaslav took Bonanza off of HBO Max. So, I mean, Zaslav doesn't care. If it's not making money, it's out of here. Showcase. Those who don't know, Gunn was to expand Marvel's space and cosmic side after Guardians. Yeah. Well, now he's going to do it in DC.
He's basically pulled a Jack Kirby. So CW's done. They're not going to do that show. What was it called? Gotham Knights, the one about like the teenage kids that find the Bat Cave. That show's not going to come out anymore. Thank God, if that's true.
Oh my God. Mikey Sutton did one of his secret drops. He sent me a DM on Facebook with some secret information that I cannot reveal. But oh my God. You know what? This is incredible. Mikey is making a habit of doing this, and I think it's the greatest thing he ever came up with. Dropping secret scoops like this. It's
Vin
insane.
Diesel gonna play Sergeant Rock? That'd be awesome.
Oh God! Ask Mikey. He's in the chat. Ask him. I don't know. I just know that when Mikey dropped, what Mikey just dropped right now is insane.
Hey, Mikey, they're going to get Vin Diesel to play Sergeant Rock on HBO Max, because I'd totally watch that.
Wow. He really knows how to get, Mikey knows how to get the blood pumping. I'll tell you that. And you know why? And you know why he gets the blood pumping, folks? Because what he says is true. And it's happening. And we know we can trust what Mikey says. He's right. Wow. Mikey says that would be amazing, but none that I've heard. so
Yeah.
far in response to what you just suggested.
Sergeant Rock never gets any love, man. Like they need to bring back some of those DC War comics, man. They were too good. I don't know. They might do it because like that Bruce Campbell Sergeant Rock zombie comic that they got coming out right now is really good. And it's getting some love for the character finally.
God, I'm just, oh my God. Thank you, Mikey. You are, man. Wow. This is just insane. And it has more stuff that can't be talked about, but hey, it is what it is. I love it. I love it. Mikey's making scoopers out of all of us. It's insane stuff. Wow. Superman and Lois is canceled. Zaslav don't want that. With Man of Steel 2 around the corner. Exactly.
That was going to be what the Superman from Supergirl, right? The same actor?
That Superman and Lois, that show with Tyler Hoechlin. Yeah. Yeah, it got 2 seasons, and now it's getting the plug pulled on that too.
Thank God.
Oh my God. He was so wrong for Superman. I never liked that guy as Superman, and I'm glad he's gone. That's another reason why I'm so glad Cavill's back, because Captain Boomerang with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Captain Boomerang. Shout out to Zod. I feel HBO Max will be the new CW, but in a good way. More proper writers and effects and people that will care about DC long term. Totally agree with you, man. Totally agree.
They've been doing a decent job so far. The Doom Patrol show is very good. Titans has promise, man. They just dropped the ball on some of the story writing. Swamp Thing was really good, but short-lived. Harley Quinn was pretty good, but yeah, they got a lot of room for improvement, but they have some cool stuff already.
Swamp Thing, yeah. Well, I'm sure that Swamp Thing has a future. Maybe not that TV show, but it has a future. I can, based on a lot, I really believe that. Fighters Evo, man, excited for Man of Steel 2. Me too. Showcase says it'll be cool if Steven Spielberg finally does the Blackhawks, and they can build a DCEU World War II era that will set up Sergeant Rock and others around it.
Yeah. Unknown Soldier, get the losers out there.
I think Steven Spielberg will do that. Steven Spielberg is he's been wanting to do that movie since the 80s. So
I didn't know that, but like he's an interesting choice for the Blackhawks. He could knock it out. That would be a very interesting property to see make it to film too, because I mean, like, to tell you the truth, G.I. Joe totally ripped the Blackhawks off. I mean, completely, with all the different vehicles and the specialized characters and stuff.
Yep. I'm getting some stuff from Mikey Sutton that Mikey says that I can share. So I'm about to, give me a minute here, guys. I'm just taking some screenshots here that I can share with you guys. Let me just get off of my thing here. Got to get everything together. And for those of you that have been following the Dreamwalker comic, you can go to secondskincomics.com and you can now you can purchase issue 2 of Dreamwalker and issue 1 variant covers on sale now. The variant cover of issue number 1 is $6.99, and the variant covers of issue number 2 are $5.99 over at Second Skin Comics. You won't be disappointed. These comics are fantastic. Mikey has given me some really great material here to share with you all. So I'm about to do that. Let me open this up here. Yeah, Second Skin Comics. Oh my God. Let me go over. I'm sorry, guys. Every time I get stuff from Mikey. I get super excited. It's amazing. Let me just share my screen. Let's go to window. We're going to go here. We're going to share this. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead, and this is a sketch of the Savage Bat from Dreamwalker. This is an original sketch by the artist Noel Leon Flores. Absolutely beautiful artwork from Dreamwalker. What do you think, Johnny?
It's metal, man. It's hella metal. Rah! I like it. Kind of reminds me of Glenn Danzig.
It's definitely metal. And I got another one here too. I'm gonna show. Let me go in here and see what we got. We got another one. Got another one from Mikey here. Probably should download this. Oh God, this is a beautiful sketch. Pull this up here. Wow. I'm being very, very the Dreamwalker comics. I highly recommend anybody who is a fan of horror comics. This stuff is first class. First class artwork, first class everything. It's first class artwork, first class writing. Let's take a look here. About to share one other image here. From the Scooper Supreme. Another Dreamwalker sketch from Noel Leon Flores. Excellent artwork.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. It's really hard to draw the hair flowing upside down like that. So it's
when you start reading the comic, you'll be blown away by what you see. The story is phenomenal. The artwork is great. The actual everything about Dreamwalker is very, very cinematic. Okay. And according to Mikey Sutton, I hope Black Hawk is a go. Everybody, hypothetically speaking, Mikey, do you think Black Hawk is a go? Wow. Such dope artwork. Amazing stuff. Again, you can grab Dreamwalker over at secondskincomics.com. The first 2 issues are available in variant covers, and you'll definitely enjoy it. I know I am. I'm so hyped. Everything about Dreamwalker, man. What a time to be alive. Sock says, I always love hearing any info on Dreamwalker comics. Oh my God, look at the detail in that art. It's so amazing. Absolutely. Think really close. Alicia and Necron. Wow. Alicia and Necron, ladies and gentlemen. And I am going to give myself a shameless plug. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Issue 3 of Dreamwalker will feature yours truly, ZodWriter. Ladies and gentlemen.
Like you're going to be drawn into it?
Yes, I am in the comic. I am a major character in
That's
Dreamwalker.
Awesome. I've been drawn into a few comics, so it's always fun, man.
Necron looks creepy. Yes. Oh my God.
He perving out back there.
Such great artwork. Unbelievable. Again, the comic is very cinematic. I can't say enough good things about Dreamwalker. All I can say is you definitely want to get these comics, because you never know, man. They sell out fast. I know for a fact, because I tried to get, when I wanted to get Dreamwalker #1, I was a little late to the party, and I had to get the I had to get the variant of issue #1, one of the variants of issue #1 on off of eBay, and then it sort of went up. The cost of that issue went up from there. So, definitely something that you want to get into if you're interested in Dreamwalker. ZodWriter, you're in 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes, you see? So I'm in a lot. I'm excited. Oh my God.
You should kill him off Overfiend style, Mikey. Like just go for it.
This is the variant cover for issue #1 for Dreamwalker. You got Kate on the cover, Kate Valdez. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. This is the Filipino variant cover for issue #1. This is the original issue #2 that is out of print and very hard to find right now. If you go on Second Skin Comics, you'll only be able to get a variant at this point. And then this is the rare out of print variant of issue #1, which is a beautiful, beautiful cover. Of course, done by the great Noel Leon Flores. Awesome stuff. Definitely want to get into Dreamwalker if you haven't already. I know I sound like an infomercial, but really, you're doing yourself a great service if you love this kind of material. If you're into horror comics with sci-fi elements and deep, rich storytelling, you won't be disappointed. Let's see what else here. Issues 3 of Dreamwalker will be epic. Oh yeah, of course it's going to be epic. ZodWriter's going to be in it. It's going to be epic, guaranteed. I can't wait. Oh my God. Dope artwork. Socks Bulletins is in issue 6. For full appearance of the greatest serial killer in comic book history, Socks. Bows to you, Mikey Sutton. Oh my God. Thank you. Wow, Socks, congrats. Thank you, Koopy Malik. Mikey Sutton has brought tears of joy to my eyes. And I got a $5 super chat here from Captain Boomerang. Hey, Zod, do you think WBD, James Gunn, and Peter Safran are still interested in the multiverse in live action with DC?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because there's just too much money to be made off of Elseworld Tale movies. Eventually, I don't see why they wouldn't dip into that, because there's so many good ones.
Absolutely, yeah. And Mikey Sutton says, Socks Bulletin, you're in Silver's nightmare with a house full of dead people's socks. Yeah, Mikey created Socks, this serial killer, Johnny, that collects the socks of dead people. Really, really.
How does it get?
And he grades them. Sock says, I love it, Mikey Sutton. It means the world to me that I'm a part of it. Yeah, you and me both. Looks like a classic indie comic from the covers. The covers pop out like the old stuff, like Love and Rockets. Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And the old Epic Comics line.
Kind of reminded me of Caliber stuff, like the old Crow covers and stuff a little bit.
Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful stuff. I have to say, though, that out of all the covers so far, the variant cover for #1 is still my favorite. Very, very good cover. Really ominous, and there's like a very Little Red Riding Hood kind of esque, mystique about it. I really love it. I really love the aesthetic and the design of this cover. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And Mikey Sutton says, "Thank you for the kind words. Heavy 80s influence, heavy metal, epic, Swamp Thing, Watchmen, etc." Yes. First appearance of Swamp Thing. Yes. Yes. That a casual bomb, Mikey. First appearance of Swamp Thing. Oh my God. Such great stuff going on here right now. Wow.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna tell people again to go over to Second Skin Comics. I'm gonna post the link here in the chat so that you can all go over there and check out Dreamwalker. Second Skin Comics. Definitely want to go there and get your copies while supplies last, as they do go very, very quickly. Showcast says Alien Legion was my jam. If anyone read that, and the Marvel comic Crystar had wonderful covers. Yes, Crystar is very, very underrated, and it's one of the deepest Marvel comics.
And from one of the covers of Crystar is where Glenn Danzig got that skull that he uses as his logo. It's actually from that.
From Crystar, yeah.
Yeah, straight up.
He just stole it from Crystar. He's like, hey, nobody cared about Crystar, so I'm gonna go ahead and...
He's gotten away with it since the 80s, man. Like, he's had that logo since since he got big with that album that Mother was on and shit. So yeah, like, he's just rocked it. As far as I know, Marvel's never said anything to him.
Mikey, what's your opinion on Crystar? What do you think? I thought Crystar was something else. I'd actually like to see Crystar implemented in the MCU. See what they would do with it.
IDW, I think, owns them now. They own all those old toy licenses that Marvel had. They got like a ROM and G.I. Joe and Transformers, and they've tried to bring back the comics for a couple of those to do like this big crossover thing with the Hasbro shit.
Too bad modern DC and Marvel can't get to the type of material or cover art nowadays like they once did. Yeah, that is a shame. And Mikey Sutton says Crystar had amazing painted covers. Yes, it did. I love Crystar, man. It was fun to read Crystar. Crystar had an epicness to it. Like a 80s. It reminded me of like an 80s new age kind of a thing. Like I could imagine all this new agey music playing in the background while in the soundtrack, like the Tangerine Dream soundtrack for Legend.
I always wanted to find the action figures for them, but I never could. They were cool. They were like see-through, like colored plastic, like really neat looking.
Oh yeah, Crystar. Oh my God. I'm going to have to dig through my comic collection at some point, Showcase. I do have Crystar comics somewhere around here. Got a couple boxes I got to go through. Integrity 101. What's up, Zod? What's up with the inevitability, Integrity? What's up, man?
Yeah, man.
It's all inevitable. And we got Mikey Sutton, Crystar toys, pricey. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I think they were kind of rare, because I never did see them around when I was a kid, and I looked for them, and I found I had a couple Insectors, some of the other kind of rare ones. What were the Illusionaries, but I could never find the Crystar figures.
Yeah, the Crystar, they're rare.
Yeah, it must have been kind of more of a limited run.
Mikey says, I still have the Crystar comics I bought in 1982. Saving the best villain for issue 6 of Dreamwalker. I love it. Yes, me too. I think Socks. I think I'm just as excited for your entrance in Dreamwalker as I am my own, because I just love the concept behind your character. Showcase says, yeah, it was one of Marvel's last comic sword and fantasy stuff they released. Yeah, it's amazing. We're all Crystar fans around here. That's rare. Bunch of nerds like Crystar, yeah.
What's up, Rel? Man, it's good to see you, bud.
Yeah, Rel in the chat. My man Rel. Always speaking sense. I gotta tell you, Rel's a good one, man. Oh my goodness. Greetings to the inevitable. Mikey Sutton says, I didn't see Crystar toys until 2017 at a convention. Expensive.
Hell yeah. Especially at a convention, because everybody thinks they can ask for more at those places, man.
Yeah. $3,000 for a Crystar figure. Yeah. Early 80s Marvel was great, and DC's Warlord. God love to see them make a film out of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, Warlord would be a neat one. Especially, it could be doable because like people really like those Viking shows nowadays. If they kind of make it like that, I think they could have a pretty cool like little uh HBO Max show based off of it. If they played their cards right. That and the Beowulf comic too. The old DC Beowulf was pretty badass for kind of like a Viking wizard and warrior type comic.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Greetings, Rel. And Sox Bulletin says, I'm so happy to see Zod's character in Dreamwalker issue 3. You and me both, Sox. I cannot wait. I'm so hyped. It's going to be amazing. And that's what Dreamwalker reminded me of when Zod showed the covers. Yeah, Dreamwalker is very, very epic. It's, oh my God, you guys, I don't know. You guys, I mean, Johnny, you're a big Tokyo Gore Police fan.
Yeah, man. I love all those Japanese
I think
gore.
you need to check out Dreamwalker, bro.
Is it kind of like the movie Dreamscape? 'Cause that's kind of what the name kind of alludes me to. Is like, does she kind of like fuck around in people's nightmares?
Well, she's in a dream. She's in the dream world, and she's fight. Oh, it's fantastic. My God,
Okay.
dude! Like it's gonna be right up your alley, Johnny. You're an artist yourself, and you are an indie comics connoisseur. You got to get Dreamwalker. I mean, not just because I'm in it. I mean, for real, bro. Wow, amazing stuff. And this is the difference between real fans and clown fans who don't know any of this stuff. That's true. Showcase, we are definitely nerds. We definitely know a lot about this stuff. Definitely. Issue 6 pays tribute to Crystar, Mike Grell's Warlord, Savage Sword of Conan Starslayer. Wow. Well, there you go, Johnny.
Hell yeah. I mean, I mostly read like the Dark Horse Conan stuff. That was my jam for a little bit there in the 90s. Like that and like the Sword of Solomon Kane from Dark Horse was pretty rad.
Mm. Integrity and Koopy. All they know is MCU BS. Yeah, none of these MCU watchers read the comics. That's for sure. I could tell you that.
Movie fans, yeah, but they're harmless for the most part, man.
That's why
They're
they were
kinda...
so sure. That's why they were so sure that Shuri wouldn't become Black Panther, because they didn't read the comics. They didn't know.
Yeah, she actually was the character a few times, like more recently. But yeah, I understand why they did it, and I think it was exciting they did it because aside from Chadwick Boseman, the actress that played Shuri was like the fan favorite from the movies, anyways. So it's smart. Just go with what you have. You had magic with that actress, anyways. So might as well just let her have some fun, let her run around and be badass, and I'm there for it.
Starslayer. That's a name I ain't heard for a long time. Exactly. Bro.
Barry Windsor Smith. Yeah, man. Weapon X.
There's a lot to be. excited about, man. Hell, as if I didn't love Dreamwalker enough. Now knowing that, there's a Chris Star tribute, that is so insane. That's amazing. God, man, God, Mikey, you're gonna make me dig up my Chris Star comics now. It's not even. I'm not even joking. Like, wow, Star Slayer. Yes, I'm an MCU fan, and I do read the comics. Yeah, Socks. That's what I'm saying. It's great. It's great when you hear about people that actually read the comics. That's why people that actually read the comics understand why certain certain concessions are made.
Yeah, when you're talking about with adaptation.
Yeah. They're harmless until they start hijacking our spaces and pretend they're experts on comics. Look at the BVS debacle over Batman Doesn't Kill. Yeah, that was an extremely flawed straw man argument. You could pick up a great number of Batman comics and know that the character does kill, just not in the comics that you probably heard of, or not in the Adam West TV show that you watched.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty canon thing. I mean, I can understand. It's like the whole Darkseid wears armor argument. Like, it is true, but
he does until he doesn't, right? Or he doesn't until he does. Somebody was crying about that, Johnny, about the Darkseid armor.
Yeah, I remember that was the last one that I really remember laughing hard about before I got sick. Was like the whole people mad about the Darkseid armor or not wearing armor. Like, he looked badass. Why do you care what he was wearing? Like.
And Mikey Sutton says, in Volume 2, the military kidnaps Zod to make clones. Imagine soldiers who come back from the dead, constantly recycled. Socks gets upset because too many Zod. Socks and value goes down. Oh wow. Yeah, because Socks actually grades the socks and keeps the socks of the dead people in good condition. Oh boy. And the fuss over Man of Steel and the BS they caused over the Snyder Cut movement. BS fans who are not fans of the source material. Yeah, they don't even know the source material. But I'm noticing that a lot of that now showcased too with the Snyder only fans. They don't know the source material ever because they think that Superman is supposed to wear a black suit the rest of his career just because Zack Snyder had him in a black suit in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I swear to God that they'll make you hate Superman because it's like, well, wait a minute. He only wears a black suit canonically in the comics for regenerative purposes. That's it.
I'm glad that Zack Snyder didn't make him grow the mullet. I mean, like, I'd be pissed. These guys are all mad that like Superman didn't keep a mullet, like, because like in the comic he totally had a mullet when he came back to life.
Yeah, he had a mullet. He actually looked like he'd been dead for a couple months at least. What's up, DC Talk with Extended? How you doing, man? Saying hello to everybody here. Socks throws a convention for corpse socks collectors. Wow. That's going to be weird, Mikey. That's going to be weird. I love it. Showcase, these BS fans were using Batman the Animated Series as their proof Batman doesn't kill because they thought the cartoon accurately portrayed the comics when in reality it added stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Most of those people that's where they got their interpretation of Batman from was Batman the Animated Series. You're right. Sox Bulletin says that Mikey Sutton, you are making me cry, man. Showcase says like Mr. Freeze origin and Harley Quinn. Love it, Mikey Sutton. Koopy Malik, too many Zod socks. How many times did Zod get resurrected in Dreamwalker? And Mikey Sutton replies, Koopy Malik, Zod dies and lives again in first appearance. Ooh. Yeah. See that's the thing, man. I'm the type of character. I die, but I come back. I die, but I get resurrected. Yeah. I'm an interesting character. I have a unique ability.
Makes me think of that Ani Kamosi song, Hot Stepper. The no, we don't die. Yes, we multiply. Yeah.
Yeah, too many Zods.
The Hot Stepper.
That's why Campea, Disgrace and idiots didn't get the Martha reference, which exposed that they know nothing. Yeah, yeah. Children of Martha. What can you do? The Children of Martha. I still want that on a T-shirt. Only now I want it to say F the Children of Martha. That would be, Johnny, that would actually be a good name for a band. Children of Martha.
Yeah. I know all your songs are about the Snyderverse. Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
A death metal band. A death metal band with all the songs about the Snyderverse. Children of Martha. Wow. We are the Children of Martha. We are Snyder only fans. Gotta give them like a cult mantra at the beginning of every song. We are the Children of Martha.
Why did you say that name? Dun 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 dun. Why did you say that name? Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I can see it. Be badass opening for an album.
Campea was shocked that Namor had feet wings. Yeah. I don't listen to Campea. He doesn't read
I
anything.
never liked that dude anyway, so
yeah, I mean he doesn't I'm actually really surprised, that it's, but this is how I know that him and Robert Meyer Burnett are actual friends, because I couldn't tolerate Campea spouting his crap week in and week out and having to deal with it. So that's how I can tell they're really friends. But Johnny and I had an experience like that with a friend of ours, where it was like we got to a point where you just couldn't tolerate it. And you're just like, okay, I've had enough. Friendship only takes you so far. After a certain point, you're like, okay, dude, we're good.
Yeah. So long. Thanks for all the fish. I mean, we had some good times, man, but woo!
Yeah. You've jumped the shark. We got other things to do.
And he went full on Jason Statham and jumped the mastodon, man. Like,
in so many ways, man. I'll never forget, man. It was like, dude, I was sitting there playing Galaga, and I'm like, okay, dude, I wasn't paying no attention. I was playing Galaga. I got a little miniature Galaga machine. I was playing it, and you were off, arguing, and it was just like, at that point, it was like, whoa, time to move on.
Yeah.
Never forget that day. Wow. It's commemorative in some ways. Koopy Malik, Mikey Sutton, wow, talk about Zods having physiology like Highlanders. There can be only one. Absolutely. Showcast says exactly. Mikey Sutton, he was complaining about Namor's wings, which are an essential part of his character design.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that I don't understand, because I'm not steeped in all the Namor lore, but I at least know that enough about.
That's a cool look, anyways. I mean, like, what's to complain about?
Mikey says that's got to be on the album. Oh yeah, the Children of Martha. That's gotta be a band. That's gotta be a little cult in the book. Children of Martha. A little cult. Bunch of kids, bunch of 8-year-olds. You can have like an 8-year-old leader of the Children of Martha. Oh, I'm so waiting on how Noel will draw the character based on me and Mikey Sutton. Yeah, Socks, Noel's going to do an uncanny job. Noel's amazing. Mikey, is Jonah Hex coming to the DCEU?
Oh yeah,
DC, you missed it. Mikey talked about that a little while ago. He dropped that. He dropped that scoop.
he dropped that bomb, and I'd say it's well received news, man. I'm pretty hyped for it.
Absolutely. Got a $5 super chat here from the awesome Captain Boomerang. Thank you, Captain Boomerang. I wonder what villains Ben will use or interact with, face off against in his future Batman project. Well, I know one that he definitely needs to do right off the bat. We need to get that Deathstroke movie. We need to see Ben Affleck go up against Deathstroke, Arkham style. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And like I figured that's what they were going to do if they brought him back. I mean, because that was so hinted at, and it's such a good way at the end of the cut. So I mean, figured that was a go as soon as Ben Affleck came back, right? Or
yeah, pretty much, right? I don't know. Thank you again, Captain Boomerang. I appreciate all the support, man. Integrity 101 says, I tried watching the Batman again, fell asleep twice. I want to like it, but man. Yeah, well, it's better than NyQuil, man, but it's expensive. It's like $10 on 4K. That's a lot of money, bro, for that movie.
You don't have to watch that movie in 4K, though. I mean, just a regular Blu-ray will be fine.
No, but here's the point, Johnny. It's on sale everywhere for $9.99 on 4K. I mean, that just goes to show you how it's not selling if they're trying to get rid of it for $10 on 4K, bro.
Well, I don't think anybody has 4K, right? I mean, I didn't shell out for it.
4K.
Do you have a 4K player?
I do not.
See? I don't know nobody that does, though, to tell you the truth.
I really don't either. I know Robert Meyer Burnett has one because him and I had a conversation about Akira on 4K, but I don't have a 4K player. No.
I mean, I own Ghost in the Shell in a 4K steelbook, but like I own that for like several formats that I don't even own players of, because I just collect that movie. But like I don't even care about ever seeing. It's like when I try to watch movies in 4K, they always look flat and fake. Like I was at this sushi restaurant once, and they were watching The Immortals with Henry Cavill, and like when I first looked up, I thought it was one of those crappy CGI Bible shows that you'll see like on TV sometimes, because the special effects look that bad. And then I zoomed in and I saw Mickey Rourke and Cavill, and I was just like, no, wait, I know this movie. This is The Immortals. Why does this look so terrible? Because that movie looks so amazing. And like they totally ripped off the Zack Snyder look for that movie. And like on this 4K TV that at the sushi joint, man, just looked so bad. Like so bad.
Mikey says track 1 on the album for Children of Martha is called The Air Cut. There you go.
I mean, as much as I love the Suicide Squad, like when I watch that movie, I do not understand why they needed to have a shrink on set. Like, I need to see the Ayer cut. Like that's got to eventually get released. Just has to. Like, Integrity, get on that, man. That needs to be an inevitability.
And we have the amazing artist for Dreamwalker. We've got Noel Leon Flores in the chat here saying, invoke my name. Hello there. Hello, Noel. Man. Oh my God. Your art is fantastic. I'm super hyped for what's coming. I really am. This is just amazing stuff. Let's see. Jonah Hex returned to DCU. Sweet. Hello, Mr. Noel Leon Flores. Nice to see you. Deathstroke with the director of The Raid. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, dude. Oh, man. Yeah, I'd watch that. Gareth Edwards or whatever his name is? Hell yeah.
Wow. Integrity 101. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the Batman 2 gets canceled. The moment Mikey drops that scoop that the Batman 2 is canceled, I think I'm going to throw a party, Integrity. I really think that when we know for sure. Well, here's the thing, though. That Batman stuff is up in controversy because, Chris Wozniak, the whole plagiarism thing over the story. And then They found some Doctor Who music being plagiarized in the Batman as well. Listen, I I can't wait until we hear that project is completely dead. Just imagine what the Robert Pattinson fan account is going to be like on Twitter when they say that they're done with the Reeves verse. Oh, that'd be great. That would be great. I tried to watch the Batman, but my Blu-ray player spat it out after 2 minutes. It doesn't like crap. And there you go. And we got another $5 super chat here from Captain Boomerang. Think Zaslav, WBD, Saffron Gunn will keep Leto as Joker, Joe as Slade, or any of the Birds of Prey actresses. I talked to Sil, wanted your guys' thoughts. I think so.
I hope so. I enjoyed like all those casting and actors. I mean, I don't see why not.
I mean, if they're just adding on to what already exists, I don't see why they would recast anybody, to tell you the truth. The only way I could see them, Captain Boomerang, the only way I could see them recasting is if, there were scheduling conflicts, or where an actor wasn't available to do it. That's the only way I could see them recasting. I don't really see a need for them to recast. And I wouldn't be surprised to see, the Birds of Prey, some of the Birds of Prey actresses return. I mean, they could still be utilized regardless. I don't know.
Yeah, Mary Elizabeth Winstead was great as a Huntress, man. And I also really liked the Black Canary girl. I thought she was very entertaining. Let's just say.
Very entertaining. Sucker punch. Sucker punch with Birds of Prey characters. Ray says those Reeves stands will get no sympathy from me either. Koopy Malik says, gotta go, work to do. Awesome stream, Zod, and as always, is a pleasure seeing Johnny on the panel. Best of fortunes to both of you and all in the chats. Thank you, Koopy Malik. Always a pleasure to have you here, man.
Yeah, you're one of the best. Take it easy, bro.
Absolutely. Socks, have a great night. Koopy Malik. Showcast says it should be the Batman flop that only made 300 profit. That's not good enough. BVS made more, and Man of Steel with inflation made more. Yeah, Johnny, the director of The Raid was going to direct Deathstroke, but it got canceled by Jeff Johns. I mean, gotta admit that'd be a hell of a movie. Zaslav is keeping everyone. The Snyderverse is 100% back on. Cavill, Ben, Zach, Ray Fisher, all back. Hashtag logic wins. Not only that, integrity.
It was inevitable.
Exactly. Showcast says not long after Affleck left, the Batman project. Koopy Malik is a class act. I agree 100%. All the way. Man, guys, you got to understand, we're at a point now where I feel like as fans of DC, fans of Marvel, fans of all the stuff, we should be happy. We got enough content that's going to outlast all of our lifetimes. For real. Who has time to watch all this crap? I mean,
I seem to be able to watch most of it. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's pretty good.
I shouldn't have watched Loki. That was terrible. Shouldn't have watched Hawkeye, but did. Happened. But got to move on, And
Loki. So Loki's not worth the watch. I've been hearing mixed things about Loki. Some people have been telling me to watch it. Other people have been telling me not to watch it.
I would skip it. I mean, like, they introduced Kang in it. That is anything you care about. You're going to get to see him in Ant-Man 3 anyways. He's going to have a way bigger part in that. So, which I'm way more excited for. Like, Ant-Man's my favorite MCU hero, so pretty hyped for Ant-Man 3.
Yeah, you've been saying that. You've been saying you're hyped for Ant-Man 3. I heard somebody else say they were hyped for Ant-Man 3. I think it was Skywalker who said he was hyped for Ant-Man 3. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'll watch it, I guess. I mean,
I just like Paul Rudd, and I think he plays the character really good. But I feel you. You don't like the MCU too much, but
well, I mean, I don't mind it. I mean, I watched the first Ant-Man. I thought the first Ant-Man was okay. I didn't really care too much for the second one though. Integrity says it's funny hearing people say it's inevitable back at me. That's cool. Yeah, it's true. It's damn true. Okay. Anyway, yeah, dude. Let's see here. Captain Boomerang. Thank you so much, sir. $5 super chat. The only thing that WBD needs to be careful about is Batgirl. There's a possibility that Leslie is done after what went down if they recast. Oi. And that's the thing. I'm kind of hoping that they can work it out with Leslie, because at least if they want to use her again for some better, for a better version of Batgirl than what they had, obviously, it'd be nice to see her character get utilized. I mean, I want to see Batgirl in the DCU. I just don't want to see Batgirl.
I mean, I was pretty hyped for the movie. Anyways, it wasn't like it was going to be a theatrical thing. They were just going to put it out on HBO. So
no, they wanted to put, the plan was they wanted to put it in. They wanted to put it in theaters too. So
I thought it was supposed to be just an HBO Max original thing.
Yeah, no, it was going to be theatrical, and I think that's why that's what made Zaslav finally pull the plug on it. Like, no, we're good.
I hella want to see it now, though, man. Like, I was pretty ambivalent about it until they canceled it, and now like I hella want.
Well, I want to see, is it as bad as that like Justice League TV show that they did?
Or that Wonder Woman
back in the 90s, or that Wonder Woman where all that's available is
Harry Owls in it.
Yeah. That's I want to see if it's as bad as that. That's the only reason why I want to see Batgirl. I loved the mock trailer that was made for Batgirl. I don't know if you saw that, where the villains came out and they were dudes dressed in suits, and they're like, "We're the Warner Brothers, and you're a write-off." And they had machine guns and they were shooting at Batgirl. It was hilarious, bro. They used like shots from the movie, and it was unbelievable. But no, I think that would have been hilarious if like the Warner Brothers were the villains in the movie. We're the Warner Brothers. Oh God. Thank you, Captain Boomerang. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Showcaz, the MCU ended with Endgame. There's nothing after that, as Phase 4 has shown. No story. Nobody cares about Batgirl or the actress. She's not a big star, so give me a break that she's done with WB. Believe me, you don't want to see it. Honestly, I don't care about Batgirl at all. As bad as Batgirl is being perceived, and the release Batgirl campaign lasted for 35 minutes on Twitter. That was it. It fizzled out so quickly, and the reason why it fizzled out is because nobody really cares, and activists are not customers. So, yeah. So there's your release Batgirl campaign. 35 minutes on Twitter. How many years did we fight for the Snyder Cut? Just saying. Wow. You know what? This is awesome. I mean, I have to say, I think Batgirl being canceled showed that, DC is serious about quality content, because it was a movie that was done. They could have released it, right? Just like they could have released the Scooby-Doo.
I'm actually pissed about that one too, because I liked the first Scoob movie. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah. Well, they completed it.
Yeah, it was like done. Scoob was like done. Like,
yeah, all they got to do is press a button and they could put it on HBO Max. But yeah, I don't
well, they
know.
can't now. If there's any possibility of them making any money off of it, like they'll get in trouble. So like they've just got to bury it or delete it.
I have a feeling that maybe in the not so different distant future, Batgirl will end up online. Maybe even the Ayer cut and the Scoob sequel, especially stuff that's completed. Once it's completed, there's a chance, especially when you hear stories about the filmmakers showing these projects to people. Like when you hear about how David Ayer has already shown the Ayer cut to a bunch of people. I know a few people now. I know about 5 people now online in total that have seen the Ayer cut. And so it's only a matter of time. Either the Ayer cut's going to get released or it's going to end up leaked somehow. Either way, we'll get to see it. So I got a question, for Mikey Sutton. If the Ayer cut gets released, or if the Ayer cut leaks, not gets officially released, but leaks online before the end of the year, will people still be hating on Mikey because Mikey said that the Ayer cut was going to get released in 2022? That's a question I have. If it leaks online and everybody gets to see it regardless. Interesting question. Scoob was terrible. They ruined Hanna-Barbera. I stick with HB, not the WB version of Hanna-Barbera, much like how Disney ruined Star Wars. Integrity 101 says, I still think the smart move is to have Keaton's arc in The Flash lead into a Beyond film. Keaton has his No Way Home moment. Then he leaves Snyderverse for the conclusion of his own universe. That could possibly be how it turns out, Integrity. From what we've been hearing, it seems like Keaton's screen time is getting reduced for that Flash movie. So maybe something along those lines. Who knows? I'd like to see a Batman Beyond movie. I know that. You see Black Panther 2? Yes, I have, and I enjoyed it. Johnny and I are going to watch it after this show, so we're gonna go see it. We're gonna go to a midnight screening at the library.
We're gonna go hang out with Alan Moore, and watch it.
Ayer cut is a no-brainer, absolutely. Yeah. So, you know what, guys? I think that this will do it for tonight's episode of the ZodWriter Show. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight here, me and Johnny. I want to thank you, Captain Boomerang, for all the generous super chats. Appreciate it, man. All you guys, man, it's such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you to Noel Leon Flores for stopping by in the chat. Thank you to Mikey Sutton for the casual bombs, as always. It's been fun, and me and Johnny, I think we might be back next week. Are we going to be back next week, or is next week a holiday?
I don't give a shit if it's a holiday unless you care. I mean,
oh no, it's Wednesday. It's the 23rd, so it's before the holiday, I think. Yeah, so we'll be here next. We'll be here next.
You have big news that's coming out on Thanksgiving, right? Like you talked about last week.
Oh yeah, there's going to be big. Well, there's going to be big stuff dropping. Hopefully before Thanksgiving. That would be great. And we'll see. According to Mikey, there might and if this crater of this nuclear bomb of news drops around that time, we're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about. And Integrity 101 concludes with Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 is inevitable. The era of incompetence for DC on film is over. And Sean Franklin says, you think Marvel will use Dr. Doom in the MCU? In a one-word answer, yes. Yes.
Yeah, he's going to be around by the time they do Secret Wars. He's got to be the bad guy in that. So, yeah, he's going to be around pretty soon.
later showcast. Thank you again, man, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here, listening to me and Johnny talk about a barrage of topics. Hopefully the big bombs drop by next week so that we'll have even more stuff when we come back here next Wednesday to talk to you all here on the ZodWriter Show. Good night, everybody. Peace.